Hello, hi, namaskar everyone. Can you all hear me? Just give me a quick response. I hope I'm clearly audible and we all are clearly visible. So let's get started with this session of JEE Mains 2026 Important Questions Revision. What does this session mean? First of all, let's understand that thing. Here, what I'm trying to make you understand is that people misinterpret one of these statements or a quote. What is that quote? People usually say that practice makes a man perfect. It, as far as I believe, is misinterpreted or misquoted. Why am I saying so? Please understand this statement first of all. Practice does not make things perfect, it actually makes things permanent. So, if you are doing a wrong practice, you are developing wrong habits. And that's where the importance of right practice comes into picture. Did you understand my statement very clearly here, students? All I'm trying to make you understand is that when you solve questions, when you practice questions, you should know that you are solving right category of questions, right amount of questions, decent quality of questions. And that's exactly what we have brought for you in this particular session. All the important quality selected questions we have brought from the January attempt of JEE Mains 2026 for you here in this particular video to make you prepare for the April attempt. So yes, great. Hello, hi everyone. I hope I'm clearly audible. And with that, let's get started. Right. So I hope you have understood the agenda. We'll be discussing the important and the crucial questions, the selected quality questions from the January attempt in this session to make you revise the concepts of mathematics and to make you prepare for the April attempt. Without any delay, yes, great Aditya, great Shyam. That's great. Let's get started with that. So here comes the first question for the day. I hope you all can see it right there on the screen. Of course, along with me, you can pause the screen or you can keep solving it simultaneously and then we shall discuss its solution together. First of all, when you read the language of the question, how does the question look like? It says that there is the number of relations we need to figure out. We have been asked questions on functions, relations, and mapping, and this exactly we have deliberately kept this question here to make you understand here. Okay, great. Thank you so much for that compliment, Shyam. Keep learning. That's all I can say. Keep revising, keep learning, and keep improving. That's what we all can do. Great. Here, getting ahead with this, defined on the set. So set A, B, C, D, that's your set which we are given, which are both reflexive and symmetric. So first of all, I hope you understand reflexive, symmetric, and transitive. Yes, it is live. Yes. Great. Hello, Jyoti. With that, when I go ahead, first of all, when you say that on this set, so from this set to this set only, so there are 4 elements in this set. If you are understanding it. For example, now let's call this set as set A. Now, if from this set A, if I do the mapping, it will be the Cartesian product A cross A. So when you look at this Cartesian product A cross A, the pairs which you will start getting will be, of course, A comma A, then A comma B, then A comma C, then A comma D, and so on. And similarly, then you'll have B comma A, B comma B, B comma C, B comma D. So similarly, you will have total 4 into 4. That will be 16 elements. Are you understanding this data? You will be having total, how many elements here, students? This arrangement when you make, you will be having total 16 elements. Now, here, when you say that you need to pick relationships or relations from this set to this set only, where mappings are being done from ABCD to ABCD. So Cartesian product gives you 16 elements. With that, if I want to ensure that this relation should be reflexive, so if it is reflexive, in its domain, I'm seeing A, B, C, D. So A comma A, B comma B, C comma C, and D comma D are mandatorily expected. So there is only one way of including them. A comma A, B comma B, and C comma C, and D comma D are included. So that we have ensured that you need to take if you wish to keep it reflexive. Now, what about keeping it symmetric? How do we ensure that it is symmetric? Now, please understand, symmetric means what? If you are taking A comma B, then B comma A is supposed to come. If you are taking A comma C, then C comma A is supposed to be there. If you are taking A comma D, then D comma A is supposed to be there. So after taking 4 elements, which are mandatory for it to make it or keep it reflexive, I am left with 16 minus 4, 12 elements. I repeat, I am now left with 12 elements. Now those 12 pairs gives you, of course, with a comma b, I got to take b comma a. I repeat, whenever I take a comma b, I have to take b comma a. Whenever I take a comma c, I have to take c comma a. So how many choices with these pairs do I have? First of all, with a comma b, b comma a will mandatorily come. So if I was left with 16 pairs, out of those 16 pairs, I'll be left with, sorry, out of those 12 pairs, 16 minus 4, out of those remaining 12 pairs, 12 divided by 2, I'll be left with 6 choices. I repeat, I'll be left with 6 choices, which means if a comma b is there, I got to select b comma a mandatorily. I hope you understand this statement. What does it mean? It means whenever a comma b is there, b comma a needs to be there. Which means if I ask this pair that whether you can be there in that relation or not, so they have two choices. Either they can be there or they cannot be there. So with this couple, with this pair, a comma b comma b comma a, I have two choices. Either they could be there in that relation or they cannot be in that relation. So how many such pairs are there? There are total 12 by 2, 6 pairs are there. Did you understand that? So with those 6 pairs, with each of them, I have two choices. First pair has two choices, second pair, third pair, fourth pair, fifth pair, and sixth pair. So total to the power 6 choices I have with those remaining 12 elements. 12 pairs are there, but 12 is divided by 2 because a comma b, b comma a will make one pair. Similarly, a comma c, c comma a will make one pair. A comma d, d comma a will make one pair. So with that, I'll have 6 pairs. I hope you're understanding the meaning of the word pair here. So with that, I have 2 to the power 6 choices to ensure that it stays symmetric. With that, I hope we have gotten the answer. 2 to the power 6 is 64 into 1 is 64, and you can mark and go ahead with option D as the correct answer. Tell me honestly, how many of you got this right? And I hope you have understood the concept of a relation being transitive, symmetric, and reflexive. And with that, the concept of a relation being equivalence comes into picture. Are we clear on that? How many of you got option D as the correct answer? With that, let's try and solve the next question. The next question is from the chapter Definite Integration. A definite question is asked from this chapter. And how do we solve this? Let's learn it from this question. All these questions which are going to be brought in this particular session are from JEE Mains January attempt only. All the questions. So here, let's solve this question. First of all, the moment you see minus pi by 2 to pi by 6, something comes into picture. Kings or queens, right? But before I apply that, let me analyze this function properly here. So to have that consideration, I'll split this function into two parts. How am I doing it? First of all, I'm splitting into two parts in such a manner that I'm having pi upon 1 minus sine of mod of x plus pi by 6. That is one of the functions, plus 4x to the power 11 divided by the same 1 minus sine of mod of x plus pi by 6. Now, can you help me with these functions? Which one looks like an even function and which one looks like an odd function? Can you not see that, sir, mod x will keep it even, so this will remain even. If this stays even, this is odd, so odd upon even is odd. So this clearly is going to be an odd function. I hope there is no doubt or hesitation on that. But when you look at this function, this is constant, which means even. This is even, so even upon even gives you an even function here. So that clearly makes us understand that if this function can be splitted into two functions as a sum of an even and odd function, there I can unhesitatingly say that yes, for an odd function, minus a to a, the integration is 0. We know this property. Now, the second property, great. That's great, Adityan. With that, if I could now boil down my fact or my calculation to this first function only, my job will be completely done. Sir, give some tips. Seeing your lecture plus problem solving for 6+ hours will give me 99 percentile. I didn't understand your statement. Sir, give some tips. Seeing your lecture plus problem solving for 6+ hours will give me 99 percentile. Watch these lectures, revise these notes, try to solve these questions by yourself, and of course, solve good, decent quality questions, especially the previous year's questions. That's the tip or the trick or the technique I would suggest. I hope you have understood my statement. Moving ahead with this conclusion, for odd function, the differentiation integration will be 0. Now I need to integrate this part. So here, when you reduce, this is an even function, and for even, minus a to a can be written as 2 times 0 to a. So I can write it as 2 times 0 to pi by 6. First of all, give me a quick confirmation. Did you understand this part? Here, it will be pi dx divided by 1 minus sine of mod of x plus pi by 6. Now I did not write it as mod of x. Why? Because it will be from 0 to pi by 6. So if x is from 0 to pi by 6, it is already positive. Which book? Any book. NTA releases its questions on its official website. You have a lot of websites. Even our PW website has all the previous year's questions on it. So you can revise the questions from anywhere, wherever you find decent, good quality questions. Now, coming back to the discussion we all are having, I hope the job is almost done. One thing I'd suggest you to do is that here, if you could substitute this x plus pi by 6 by, let's say, t, your job will be made simpler. So can I do it here? So if I'm substituting x plus pi by 6 by t, let's say for a while, I hope you're understanding the intent. With that, I'll have dx is equal to dt. It will look a little simpler and decent with that conclusion. But of course, limits do change here. So with that, I'll have 2 times. When you're having x as 0, t will be pi by 6. So that will be the lower limit. When x is pi by 6 plus pi by 6, 2 pi by 6, that's basically pi by 3. So this will be pi by 3. I hope there is no confusion on the limits now. But when you do so, what advantage you have is that here it becomes dt upon 1 minus sine t. Are you not finding it very easy now? Can you not solve this particular part by yourself? Shall I give you one more hint so that you do it by yourself? Please understand, our teacher's job is not to give you the complete solutions. It is like spoon feeding. Benjamin Franklin, I think, has said this, that if you feed a man, you feed him for a day. But if you learn if you basically teach a man to fish, you can feed him for a day. But if you give a man a fish, you can feed him for a day. But if you teach a man to fish, you can feed him for the life. So that's exactly the kind of philosophy we are following here. We are trying to make you develop that knack, that skill, so that you can learn, you can solve these questions by yourself. From here, I think my job is absolutely done. This particular part you all must be very comfortable with. Can you help me with the right approach or the standard or the appropriate steps that needs to be taken here? Are you not thinking that, sir, if I multiply the numerator and denominator by 1 plus sine t here, my job will be done? So the next step gives you a complete crystal clear idea that 2 pi by 6 to pi by 3 will come here. 1 plus sine t in the numerator. So I'll have 1 plus sine t in the numerator, of course, with the dt divided by 1 minus sine t, 1 plus sine t. So a minus b, a plus b is a square minus b square. 1 minus sine square t, that's cos square t. So I hope there is no confusion on that. And with that, I think our job is absolutely done. Why am I saying so? Because 1 upon cos square t is sec square t. And integration of that you all know. So first integral will be sec square t dt. And what about the next part? Next part will be sine t upon cos square t. That will be 10t sec t or sec t 10t, whatever you wish to call it. So that will be sec t 10t, of course, dt. The limits remain same, and I hope from here I need not solve this question further. The 2 pi will be there in the picture, and here this integral you all can perform quite easily. The limits are pi by 6 to pi by 3. Can you not solve this question from here? I hope you can clearly see the answer coming up right there. Great, great, great. That's great, Adityan. Can I move ahead from here towards the next question if you have understood this approach here? I hope you know what is needed to be done next. With that, let's understand or solve the next question. Hold on for a while, students. I just need to fix few things here. Okay, so let's resume with this question. Can you help me with this question? How do we think or how do we develop the right approach for this question? If you read the language, you can crack this question within seconds. This is again not a tough question. Why am I saying so? First of all, it says that there is a set S which has pairs m comma n, where m comma n both are natural numbers from 1 to 50. Now, they fulfill a condition. The number of elements m comma n in S such that 6 to the power m plus 9 to the power n is a multiple of 5. It is a multiple of 5. So that number is P. Okay. And if it fulfills the other condition, which is the second part of that question, which we'll do later. But let me focus on this first part of the question where I need to figure out that 6 to the power m plus 9 to the power n should be a multiple of 5. Great. How do we ensure that this happens? First of all, whenever you raise 6 to a certain power, this always gives you the unit digit as 6. This always gives you the unit digit as 6. Always remember, 6 to the power 1 is 6, 6 square is 36, 36 into 6 is 216, and so on. So 6 when multiplied by 6 generates you or gives you the unit digit as 6, which means no matter what power you're raising 6 to, it always gives you the unit digit as 6. The same sort of or different or a little different kind of cyclicity you can find with the higher powers of 9. 9 to the power 1 is 9, but 9 square is 81. That gives you the unit digit as 1. 9 cube, the unit digit of 9 cube can be attained with 1 into 9. That's again 9. So I hope you're understanding. That's basically 729. So with that, all I'm trying to make you understand is that for the even powers of 9, it gives you the unit digit as 9. But for the odd powers of 9, it gives you the unit digit as 9. But for the even powers of 9, it gives you the unit digit as 1. What is the advantage of this statement here? This statement clearly makes you understand that, sir, when we want a number to be a multiple of 5, the unit digit should be 5 or 0. But here, 6 plus 9 could be 15 or is 15, so unit digit will be 5. But with 6 plus 1, this becomes 7. Are you getting this statement? Which means I can have any power of 6. I can have any power of 6, even or odd, that's perfectly fine. So with the power of 6, for this m, how many choices do I have? All these 50 choices I have. But when you talk about the powers of 9, I cannot take the even powers of 9 because there I'll have the unit digit as 1, and 1 plus 6 will not give me a multiple of 5. So I got to take the odd powers. So out of these 50 numbers, odd numbers are 25. So that can be done or taken in 25 ways. So that's your number P. That is your number P. I hope you have understood this very clearly. Can I move ahead with this? Now, let's talk about the second part of this question. Are we clear on this, whatever I've done so far? The second part of this question, what does it say? The number of elements m comma n in S such that m plus n, m plus n, m plus n is a square of prime number. It is a square of a prime number. Okay. Now, first of all, understand m plus n, the range will be 50 plus 50, 100. So m plus n, at most, the maximum value of m plus n could be 100. So let's think of these squares of prime numbers. So the smallest prime number is 4, 2. So square of 2 is 4. More than 2, that's 3. 3 square is 9. After 3, we see 5. So 5 square is 25. Then after 5, we see 7. 7 square is 49. I hope you're understanding my words very clearly. Then after 7, the next prime number is 11. And the square of 11 is 121. So these are the 4 choices I have. Now, what does it mean? It means, now, how can I have this sum 4? How can I have this sum 4? 4 means this m plus n should be 4. So how can I have this m plus n to be 4? If I have choices, I'll say the first possibility will be 1 comma 3. So if 1 comma 3 fulfills the case, 3 comma 1 will also fulfill the case. I hope you're understanding it. And the other case will be 2 comma 2. So are you understanding there will be 3 cases? 3 favorable cases. Similarly, now you will start seeing a pattern. When you talk about 9, how will you develop it? For 9, I'll have 1 comma 8. So if 1 comma 8 is there, I'll say 8 comma 1 will be there. For 1 comma 8, I'll say the next group or the next pair will be 2 comma 7. So 7 comma 2. Are you understanding it? Then 3 comma 6. Then of course 6 comma 3. Then of course 4 comma 5. Then 5 comma 4. Are you understanding it very clearly, students? Are you all there, listening and understanding it? So with that, we have come to a conclusion that total 8 possibilities will be there. So when sum was needed to be 4, I could see 3 possibilities. When the sum is needed to be 9, I could see 8 possibilities. When the sum is needed to be 25, I will be seeing 24 possibilities. And when the sum is needed to be 49, I'll be seeing 48 possibilities. That's the pattern you can develop. Are you all there listening, watching and understanding? So with that, we can crack the value of Q. Q will be the summation of 3 plus 8 plus 24 plus 48. So I hope from there, 3 plus 8 plus 24 plus 48 will give you the value of Q. Q you have cracked, P you have cracked. Can you not crack P plus Q? So I'm skipping the calculation part, believing and assuming that you all are good at that. So with that, I hope you have understood this particular question as well. Can I move ahead with this question towards the next question? How many of you have understood this? Can you help me with this? Did you all understand this whole explanation, the entire explanation? Now, moving towards the next question, again, a very interesting question, a good question, a decent question from application of derivatives. How do we solve this? Let's develop the idea for that here. F R to R. So this is a function which is defined from R to R. Great. B are twice differentiable function. Okay, so it can be differentiated double or twice basically, such that f double dash x is positive. Okay, we may want to utilize this information that f double dash x Please excuse me, sir. I have physics board on 20th. I will watch the recorded video of this live after the exam. Great, great, great. That's great, Aditya. No worries with that. But do watch it. I have brought selected quality questions of the January attempt, and you should watch them. You should solve these questions, and then you should definitely learn the nuances which we have shared so that you can prepare better for the April attempt. Great. Now going ahead with this, it says that this is true for all the x which are real, for all the x which are real. And we are given one more information that f dash a minus 1 is 0, where a is a real number, where a is a real number. Let gx. Now they have defined gx as a function, which is this, for x between 0 to pi by 2. Okay, great. There we are restricting x from 0 to pi by 2. Now, here. Consider the following two statements and we need to give our comment on these two statements. So let us try to have more clarity on g of x. Okay, so let's have g of x in a little different or a better format here. So let me write g of x, which is given as f of what? 10 square x minus 2 10x. So that is 10 square x minus 2 times 10x plus what? Plus a. When you see this coming into picture, if I add 1 to it, I think I'll do a lot of justice to this question. Why am I saying so? Can you help me with that? Why did I deliberately do this? Why did I deliberately do this? With this part coming into picture, I hope you all are seeing a square plus b square minus 2ab. I hope you have understood the intent. Yes, yes, great. Adityan, solve all the questions. And yes, that's great. Now, if I wish to rewrite g of x, I'll be rewriting g of x as f of a minus b whole square, or rather, yes, a minus b whole square. So that's 10x minus 1 whole square plus, of course, a minus 1. That is what you define f g of x as. Now, with that, we need to put some comment on g of x being increasing or decreasing. So I think with AOD coming into picture, I can take g dash x. Now, chain rule must be applied. So first of all, derivative of f of something should be f dash of 10x minus 1 whole square plus a minus 1. I hope you got that. Now, this needs to be differentiated. So when you differentiate this, 10x minus 1 whole square, derivative will be 2 times 10x minus 1 to the power 2 minus 1. Derivative of a minus 1 being constant becomes 0. But now I need to differentiate 10x minus 1 as well. So the derivative of 10x minus 1 will be sec square x. That's g dash x. Now, why did we do this? Please pay attention to this. F dash a minus 1 is 0. What are we told? That f dash a minus 1 is 0. F dash a minus 1 is 0. And we are told that f double dash x is positive for all the x which are real. Now listen to this part very carefully. Okay, so Potato is saying result out, sir. I'm getting 98 percentile. That's great. That's great. If the results are announced, we are really happy. We'll definitely ask my team to check it and then we'll definitely revert to you. Now, getting back to the discussion, f double dash x greater than 0 for all x which are real. What does it imply? So when f double dash x is positive, it means f dash x is strictly increasing function. So if f dash x is a strictly increasing function, if f dash x is a strictly increasing function, what conclusion do you get? Do you not think that, sir, with that, if it is a strictly increasing function, f dash a minus 1 is 0? So anything when added to a minus 1, anything positive when added to a minus 1 will be greater than 0 because it is strictly increasing. So if f dash a minus 1 is 0, so anything greater than f dash greater than a minus 1 will be greater than 0 because it is strictly increasing. Are you understanding my words? So this will be greater than 0. I repeat, on the basis of that, I can say that f dash of a minus 1 plus this 10x minus 1 whole square is definitely a positive number. So a minus 1 plus something positive is clearly greater than a minus 1. So if f dash of a minus 1 0, f dash of a minus plus something which is greater than a minus 1 is definitely going to be positive. First of all, did you get that? And we all know, I need not say anything about this, that sec square x will always be positive. So if I wish to make some comment on the g dash x, when will it be positive, when will it be negative, all I need to look at is 10x minus 1. That will be the deciding parameter. Did you understand my statement very clearly? So whenever 10x minus 1 is positive, it will be increasing. Whenever 10x minus 1 is negative, gx will be decreasing. So with that, I think the job is completely done. So whenever 10x is greater than 1, gx will be increasing. Whenever 10x minus 1 is less than 0, which is 10x less than 1, gx will be decreasing. So I think by looking at the options, we can clearly conclude that first of all, we were told that for g of x, x was between 0 to pi by 2. So from 0 to pi by 4, we know between 0 to pi by 4, 10x is less than 1. And from pi by 4 to pi by 2, 10x is greater than 1. So it will be increasing when x is from pi by 4 to pi by 2, and it will be decreasing whenever x is from 0 to pi by 4. Give me a quick confirmation. Did you all understand this? Did you all understand the solution? Other students who are watching the solution right now, have you all seen this happening over here? Have you all gotten the complete idea? Can I move ahead from here? Did you all understand this particular part? With that, I hope you have gotten this clarity that it is increasing in 0 to pi by 4. No, it is decreasing in 0 to pi by 4. It is decreasing in pi by 4 to pi by 2. Yes, it is increasing in pi by 4 to pi by 2. So it's opposite. So I would say neither one nor two is true because opposite of them is given basically in statement 1 and statement 2. With that, option A can be marked. Can I move ahead from here? Did you understand the whole solution? Now, moving ahead, let's see the next question. Let's try the next question here. This is a question from the concept, rather from the chapter of AOD, area under the curve. How do we solve this? Let's have a look at that. The area of this region. Now, there is a straight line, there is a parabola. X and Y both are positive, which means first quadrant is what I need to look at. Great. So how do we define first of all? So if I bring few things into picture, I'll be saying that, sir, here, this would be the x-axis, or sorry, y-axis, and this could be our x-axis without any confusion. I hope I can take it like this. Did you all get that? Now, moving ahead with this, what do I see? First of all, there is a straight line 1 minus 2x. So when I wish to plot this line 1 minus 2x, how do I see it? Here, when x is 0, y becomes 1. So there will be a point 0, comma 1. And when y is 0, x is 1 by 2. So 1 by 2, comma 0. So that line would be possibly going somewhat like this. So that's your straight line without any confusion. I hope you all can say so. So this point over here will of course be 0, comma 1, and this point over here will be 1 by 2, comma 0. First of all, did you understand this statement? Are you all there listening, watching, and understanding? Shall I repeat this part? When x is 0, y is 1, so 0, comma 1. When y is 0, x is 1 by 2. That's your point. Now, greater. So 1 minus 2x should be less than or equal to y. So let us make it satisfy by 0, comma 0. So 0, comma 0 is here. So 0, comma 0, which means 1 is less than 0. No, 0, comma 0 doesn't satisfy it, which means I need to consider this region. The region which is above the line and the region which is in the first quadrant. First quadrant because x and y both are non-negative. Are you all there listening, watching, and understanding it? Can I move ahead from here? Second conclusion. The second curve is y is less than or equal to 4 minus x square. That's clearly a parabola. Because of this minus x square, it is a downward facing parabola. Because of this plus 4, it will be shifted 4 units above. If its vertex is at 0, comma 0, it will be having its vertex at 0, comma 4. So that's your parabola and it goes like this. So this is going to be the parabola. And of course, the first quadrant is what we need to take. So I am sure that this region is what we need to consider here. Did you all get my part very clearly? So the region which we now need to consider here would be clearly this. I hope you are developing a good, clear sense that this is going to be the region. If you are not able to digest my part, I'll say check it with 0, comma 0. 0, 0. So 0 is less than or equal to 4. That clearly satisfies it, which means the region which is inside the parabola needs to be considered. Can I move ahead from here? Now, when I try to solve this question, can I not solve it like this? That, sir, first of all, let us find the area of this entire region. First of all, let us find the area of this entire region here. And from that area, if we could subtract the area of this triangle, then my job will be done. Are you understanding the approach? So let's begin with that idea, with that thought. How do we proceed with this here? Now, I hope with this point, there is no confusion on that. I'll say this y is equals to 4 minus x square. So when y becomes 0, x square is 4. So x should be plus minus 2. So this should be 2 comma 0. Any confusions on that? I hope you have understood it very clearly. From here, I think the integration is what I need to do. I'll take a vertical stripe. So with that 0 to 2, the integration needs to be done. Of which curve? Y is equals to 4 minus x square. So that's your curve. And from this curve, I need to subtract the area of this triangle. Which triangle here, students? This triangle. This is a right angle triangle, half base into height. So base is 1 by 2, height is 1. So the area is going to be half 1 by 2 into 1. So I hope now the question is absolutely done, completely done. You all know how to integrate it. It will be 4x minus, of course, x cube by 3. The limits are going to be from 0 to 2 minus this is going to be 1 by 4. Can you not do it all by yourself now? From here, the job is really simple. The job is pretty simple. The question was really easy if you could crack the question in a simpler manner. It's all about keeping things simple, keeping things sorted. Unnecessarily don't complicate stuff, and that's exactly what we have tried doing here through this question. Can I move ahead with this? Can we move towards the next question from here? Let's have a look at the next question. Another question from application of derivatives. F of x is defined in this manner where x is between 0 and 1, and then we are asked the minimum value of the function f of x in this interval 0 to 1. And we are given this value as this, then they are asking you the value of n. Something really simple and easy. Can you help me with the answer, students? What should be the correct answer to this question here? How do we solve this particular one? Let's build the great or better clarity on this. So first of all, if I'm given f of x, can I find f dash x so that we can use the concept of maxima and minima? Second order derivative test is what we need to do here. So it will be 2025 x to the power 2024, a very decent, a very basic question. 2000 x to the power 19999. 1999. I hope I'm going great. 2025 x 2024, 2000 x to the power 1999. Everyone with me on this? Now, how do I proceed with this? Here, what we do here is that we need to put f dash x is equal to 0 to find the critical points. So with that, we see that 2025 x to the power this minus 2000 x to the power this. So I can take x to the power 1999 common, and then I'll be left with 2025 x to the power 2024 minus this. I think it leaves you with a power 25 here. It leaves you with a power 25 here because 1 is 2024 is of course 25. So this should be 2024, 24 plus 1. So that minus, I am now left with 2000 only because this is what we have taken common. So this leaves you with a 2000 here. Did you all get that? Now, when I put it equal to 0, one of the critical points will be x is equal to 0. That I'll definitely check because it is the boundary condition. But the second critical point which I'll be attaining, which will be this from here. So that is going to be x to the power 25 is equal to 2000 upon 2025. So x will be 2000 upon 2025 whole raised to the power 1 by 25. I hope you have understood it. Why? Without any confusion. All we need to do is let's simplify this a little. So when you try and simplify this, I hope you are building a great clarity here. That sir here 25, 4 times is 100, 8 times should be 200. So it is 80 times of 25. And here this should be 81 times of 25 because this is 2025, 25 more. That means 81. Are you comfortably understanding this? From here, that is one of the critical points. So that critical point, let's say I denote by alpha. So that alpha we say to be 80 upon 81 raised to the power 1 by 25. So 3 critical points we have attained. 0. These are basically not critical points. They are boundary conditions. So to check or to have its minima or maxima, I got to check its value at 0, 1 and alpha. Are we comfortably understanding this? Let me find f of 0 first of all. So f of 0 will be 0. F of 1 will be 1 minus 1, 0. So f of 0 and f of 1 are definitely 0. So now let's talk about this result. Let's talk about this result. So this result will definitely be lesser than that because here, when you bring this into picture, this is of course less than 1. So here, this will be less than 0 because this minus this will be lesser, this will be greater. I hope you're understanding this. A value less than 1 having lesser power will be greater. A value less than 1 having greater power will be lesser. So lesser minus greater will be negative. I hope you're understanding my words very clearly. So with that coming into picture, can I solve this question from here? What will happen from here? I'll simply say that here, what will I do? I'll find f of alpha. That will be the minimum value. So f of alpha means what? This raised to the power 25. So this will be 80 upon 81 to the power 2025 upon 25 minus again 80 upon 81 to the power 2000 upon 25. From here, I think the job is really simple. You all can do it by yourself. But even if you are confused, I'll do it from here. So what we'll be doing here, I'll say that 12,025 by 25, that is clearly 81. And 2000 by 25, that is clearly 80. So this is 80 upon 81 to the power 81. This is minus 80 upon 81 to the power 80. So I think you can take the LCM and simplify this. And when you take the LCM and simplify this, you will definitely get something of this sort. And with that, you can reach to the conclusion that what should be the value of n. Shall I, or do I still need to solve it further, or can you do it by yourself? Even if you are getting confused, I'll solve it a little more further so that you get more clarity. Here, all I'm suggesting is that here, what is it turning out to be? 80 by 81 to the power 81, 80 by 81 to the power 80. So what I'll suggest is that don't even take the LCM. It is 80 by 81 in both the cases. So the best practice will be 80 by 81 to the power 80 can be taken common. So 80 by 81 to the power 80 I'm taking common. I hope you're understanding why. With that, I'll be left with 80 by 81 minus 1. So this will be 80 by 81 minus 1. Did you get this part? Why am I doing this, or what am I trying to say here? So with this coming into picture, this gives you with this leaves you with minus 1 by 81. So when this leaves you with minus 1 by 81, I think you all can tell me the correct answer here. So in the denominator, we have 81 to the power 81. Well, that is brought to the numerator here. That gives you 81 to the power minus 81. So n should be basically this minus 81. Did you all get that, or shall I re-explain this part? 81 with this minus becomes minus 81. Did you all understand this comfortably, or shall I re-explain this part? Can I move ahead from here if you have gotten this clarity? Now, solving this next question from binomial theorem. Question based on the coefficients. A very easy question, but in the January shift, IDJEE has asked a lot of questions based on this. How do we crack this question here? The coefficient of x to the power 48 in this. Now, when you look at this, let's treat 1 plus x as t. For a while, if I treat 1 plus x as t, I'll write this as a summation, let's say s. So this will become t. Then it will be 2t square, then it will be 3t cube, and it will be going on till 100t to the power 100. Will you all not agree with this on me? Are you all comfortably understanding this statement? T, 2t square, 3t cube till 100t to the power 100. Sir, 1 plus x was there. Let's talk about that later. But when you look at this, do you not think that this is an AGP, arithmetico-geometric progression, t square, t cube, and so on? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up till 100. So we are clearly seeing an AP and a GP coming into picture. How do we solve this kind of expressions? We multiply both the sides by t. So this will be ST. What do I get from here? T square. So that I write here. Then 2t cube, that I write here. And so on. And here I'll have 99 t to the power 100 plus 100 t to the power 101. I hope you have understood this particular part, the basic or the standard method of solving an AGP. So with that, I think our job is almost done. What I do next is, from here, this when minus this is done, s minus st. So that leaves you with s times 1 minus t is equal to, this is clearly t, plus this is t square, plus this is t cube, until this is t to the power 100. Of course, this will be minus, so minus 100 t to the power 101. First of all, tell me, did you understand whatever I've done so far? Everyone with me on this? Now, with this coming into picture, can I not say that, sir, here, I think we have now cracked a lot of things from this particular question here. This S1 minus t. So if I talk about S1 minus t, I'll substitute this part later, which is of course nothing but what? Minus x. So that substitution I'll do later. But here, when you look at this part, this is clearly a GP. t square, t cube. So 100 terms are there, t to the power 1 to t to the power 100. So we know the sum of this a, which is t, times r to the power n. So r to the power n minus 1 divided by r minus 1. Did you understand this comfortably? A r to the power n minus 1 by r minus 1. That's the sum of n terms of a GP. Minus 100 t to the power 101. Are you all there with me on this without any confusion or hesitation? With this, when I do the next thing, what I do is, instead of this, let me introduce t minus 1 here. So can I not say that, sir, t minus 1 from here will be x? So I am taking minus sign common from here. So when I take minus sign common from here, this becomes negative and this becomes positive, and this 1 minus t becomes t minus 1. Now, why did I do it? There was a deliberate reason behind doing this, because this will now help me in simplifying this more clearly. So this s t minus 1, t minus 1 is x. I hope you understood it. So this will become sx. This will become sx, which is equal to, this is minus t without any confusion. So that minus t I'll keep here. That minus t I'll keep here, or shall I substitute all the values of these t? I'll substitute all these values. But before that, I'll write this 100 t to the power 101. So this gives me 100 t. What is t here? So t was 1 plus x. So this is 1 plus x to the power 101 minus. Now let me write this particular part. I hope you all are there, listening, understanding, and watching it very clearly. This is t. What is t? Sir, t is 1 plus x. T is 1 plus x. Shall I write that t 1 plus x? Okay, I'll write this. So this t I'll write as 1 plus x. So this is 1 plus x times this t to the power 100. T to the power 100 means 1 plus x to the power 100. So this leaves you with 1 plus x to the power 100 minus what? Minus 1. Minus 1 is there, whole divided by t minus 1, and we have already learned that t minus 1 is x. Did you understand this part also comfortably? Can I move ahead from here? Now, when you see this particular part, the only thing which we need to do is, let me bring this x here in the denominator. So when you do so, this gives you x here in the denominator like this, and here x in the denominator like this. I hope there is no confusion on that. One last thing I'd like to do, which will definitely completely simplify our problem. This 1 plus x, I'll multiply to both of these one after another. So with that, what do I get? S will become, the expression which we have started solving will be 100, 1 plus x to the power 101 divided by x minus, when this 1 multiplies to it, it gives you 1 plus x to the power 100 minus 1 whole divided by x square. I can write it like this. I hope there is no confusion on that. You are understanding it very clearly. Minus x upon x square. So that leaves you with an x here times the same expression 1 plus x to the power 100 minus 1. Did you understand this comfortably? Are you all there? Now with that, I think the job is really simple. You all can solve this question and you all can write the answer completely and correctly. Did you understand this? Now from here, when I wish to solve this further, I'll be getting the final answer. I hope I have done all these steps correctly without any confusion or problem. Let me just cross check it. 1 plus x. 1 is multiplied to this, 1 plus x to the power 100 minus 1 by x square. When x is multiplied, x square becomes x. There you are left with 1 plus x to the power 100 minus 1. Even if you wish to do one more thing, you could have done one more thing, which wouldn't matter at all. But still, if you wish to, you can. What you should or could have done is that x square can be written separately here, which doesn't matter at all, first of all. But still, if you get confused with that, you could write this upon x square minus 1 upon x square, this upon x minus 1 upon x. So that would also keep it very simple and straightforward. Great, both of you. Congratulations on your score, on your result, on your percentile. Getting back to the discussion we all are having here. Now I'll be writing this as. Now I'm least concerned about this as, but still if you wish to or want me to write, I can write this as 1 plus x to the power 101 by x. From here I'll have 1 plus x to the power 100 by x square. This minus 1 by x square, which is plus 1 by x square, I'll write later. But before this, I'll write this 1 plus x to the power 100 by x here. And there I'm left with 1 by x from here and plus 1 by x square from here, which don't matter at all. Now, what are we concerned about? We are now concerned about the coefficient of x to the power 48. That's the matter of concern here. Now, when you talk about the coefficient of x to the power 48. So first of all, you wouldn't be getting any coefficient of x to the power 48 from here and here, so they don't matter at all. So I'll be getting a coefficient of x to the power 48 from here, here, and here. I hope there is no confusion on that. So they are absolutely identical terms, right? They are absolutely identical. Let me cross check them. No, this is x square and this is x, so they are not identical. Great. Now, when you talk about x to the power 48, so from here, from the numerator, I got to take the coefficient of x to the power 49, because x to the power 49 upon x will give me x to the power 48. So this will be 100 times 1 plus x to the power 101. So the coefficient of x to the power 49 will be 101c49. Did you get that part? Minus the coefficient of x to the power 48 means x to the power 50, because 50 upon 2, that is 50 minus 2 basically, gives you 48. So x to the power 50 is what I need to take. So this will be 100 c 50. Did you understand this comfortably, or shall I re-explain this part? I hope there is no confusion on that. Minus, when you talk about x to the power 48, so here x to the power 1 is there, so x to the power 49 should be there. So 100c 49 should be there, so it should be 100. It should be 100c 49. I hope you have understood this part very clearly and comfortably. Now, one more thing you all could have done is, when you take negative sign common from here, it becomes this. Now, one more identity or formula can be applied here. Do you remember that formula we have been discussing a lot many times? If I could write it here, I hope you must have remembered NCR plus NCR plus 1. Do you remember the identity? And if you use that identity, if you use that formula, your job is done, your question is done, and with that you can mark the correct option. Are we comfortably understanding this without any confusion or hesitation? Did you all get the complete idea? Can I move ahead with this? I hope you are finally getting the final answer without any confusion or hesitation. Everyone with me on this? Can I move ahead from here? Let's try and solve the next question from here. Let me just cross check it. 100c. So this should be n plus 1 c r plus 1, which gives you 101 c50. I think 101 c50. Option D. I think there should be a typing error. It should have been 101. Otherwise, it will not be correct, right? I hope you have understood this particular part. Can I move ahead from here? With that, when we solve the next question, a really simple question based on permutation and combination. Can I move ahead with this question? Great, great, Kavya. That's great. Now, with this coming into picture, let ABC be a triangle. Considering that 4 points are there on the side AB, so let me make you see the triangle first. So this is a random triangle. This is not necessarily an equilateral or any sort of triangle. This is a decent triangle here. But what are we told? That there are 3 sides, A, B, and C. So there are 4 points on the side AB. So side AB has P1, P2, P3, and P4. Similarly, side BC has 5 points, right? So P5, P6, P7, P8, and P9 are there. Side AC has, again, I would say 4 points. So 4, 5, and 4. So 4 means what? P10, P11, P12, P13. You need not write all this, but still, I have tried showing it to you so that you can visualize it better. Now, can you help me? What are we asked in this question? None of these points is a vertex, so they are not vertex. So ABC are separate of the triangle ABC. Then the total number of pentagons that can be formed. So we are asked the total number of pentagons. Of course, they are clearly non-collinear. 5 points if you take. Where I need you to ensure, if I wish to form a pentagon, I need to ensure that I cannot have all the 5 points from here. I cannot have all the 4 points from here and 1 point from here. That means it will not be a pentagon in that case. So here, the best practice will be that, sir, the first thing which I can do is take 1 point from here, 2 points from here, 2 points from here. I hope you're understanding. 1, 2, 2. That will make a pentagon. I'll just demonstrate it by one of the examples I'm going to take. If I take P3, P9, P8, P12, P13, are you seeing a pentagon coming into picture? So if I take 1 point from here, 2 from here, 2 from here, that will be a pentagon. Or 1 from here, 2 from here, 2 from here, that will be a pentagon. Or 1 from here, 2 from here, 2 from here, that will be a pentagon. So I think the question is done. The question is absolutely done. What I'm trying to make you understand is out of these 4 points, 1 point can be chosen in 4C one ways, and out of these 5 points, 2 points can be chosen in 5C two ways, and out of these 4 points, 2 points can be chosen in 4C two ways. Or, I hope you understand the meaning of and or. And means multiplication, or means addition. Now I'll choose 1 point from here. So out of these 5 points, 1 point can be chosen in 5C one ways. I'll just write it as 4C1 so that you don't get confused. You keep these notes with you so that you understand this, whatever I've done here. So 5C1, then 4C2, 4C2. I hope you're understanding it. Now you must have developed the idea that what am I doing here. Into the next thing will be, I'll be choosing 1 point from here and 2 points from here. That's exactly this only. 1 point from here and 2 points from here. That's exactly this only. So double of this. So this will be the final answer. This will be the final answer. Shall I re-explain this question here? Did you all get that? Can I move ahead from here? Now with this, let's try and solve the next question from here, which is a question based on I think differential equations, right? So let's try and solve this particular question. How do we solve this? So this is the differential equation. Now let's rearrange this, rewrite this. So I'll keep the trigonometric part aside and I'll keep this part aside. So what I do here is I write it as cos y divided by 1 plus 2 sin y dy. That's the first part. Is it making a complete sense here? Are you understanding it? Cos y upon 1 plus 2 sin y dy. Everyone with me on this? The next part. This I take solely or completely on the other side. So this becomes, or this goes in the denominator, which makes it 1 by 16, of course. Then under root over x plus 9 times root x times. Now don't get scared or intimidated by looking at this expression, believing that this cannot be solved or this will take a lot of time. No. A lot of questions in the examination hall looks scary, but they are not. A lot of questions in the examination hall look very simple, but they are not very simple. They are tough. So that's how they fool you. This question is one of those category of questions where it looks difficult, but it is not. It truly is not. Here, what am I left with? 4 plus under root over 9 plus root over x. Let me just check it. Under root. No, there was no under root sign here. Yes, I have mistakenly used one more under root sign. So let me remove this part here. It is basically 4 plus under root over 9 plus root x. So that's the expression, right? And of course, there we have this as dx in the numerator because I have brought it all here. I hope now it looks sorted. Sir, this clearly does not look sorted yet. Okay, that's acceptable. So here, let me integrate both the sides. So when I integrate both the sides, will it be, or can it be solved now? Let's try and do it. Of course here, can I assume 1 plus 2 sin y, or rather simply sin y as t? So if I take here sin y as t, I'll be seeing cos y dy as dt. So here this is clearly dt upon 1 plus 2 sin y is clearly 1 plus 2t. So that is totally doable. Now it is clearly not a matter of concern for us. But here, what substitution are you thinking of doing, sir? I'll say, let's take this part. Which part, students? 4 plus under root over 9 plus root x. Let's take it as k. Can I take it as k? So when I differentiate this part, what I see is that here this becomes 0. This becomes 1 by 2 times under root over 9 plus root x. I hope you're understanding. Chain rule I'm going to apply. Then I got to differentiate 9 plus root x. I hope you're understanding. 9 becomes 0. Now the derivative of root x will be 1 by 2 root x. That dx is equal to dk. Sir, what have you attained by doing so? Have some patience here. What do I mean by having some patience? So when you push this root x inside, this makes it 9 root x plus x. That's exactly what we have attained. So here, this clearly looks like 1 by 4 times under root over 9 root x plus x dx is equal to dk. So I think our job is done completely and absolutely on the right hand side as well. How and why? It is integration. Now, dx upon this can be written as dk. So this is 1 by 16 outside. So that's your dk divided by, this was your k, this was your k, but one more thing should be there. This goes to the other side, so it should be 4dk. It should be 4dk. I hope you got this. I think now the job is really simple. You all can integrate it quite easily, and you know how to integrate it. From here, the integration will be ln 1 plus 2t. So it will be ln 1 plus 2t. T is what? Sine y. So it should be 1 plus 2 sine y should be equal to 4 by 16 is 1 by 4. That 4 I introduce here. That is ln k. So that is ln k. K is what? K was basically 4 plus under root over 9 plus under root over x plus of course the constant of integration. Are you understanding this comfortably, students? Are you all there watching and understanding it clearly? From here, if you wish to take, you can take the constant of integration as ln(c). So ln, the properties can be used and you can work out the final solution, which I am skipping because you all know how to solve this. You can replace x by 256, y by pi by 2. You can figure out the constant of integration that you all have been doing in since 11th standard, and then you replace x by 49, then you crack alpha, which is definitely not a tough, huge or difficult task. Can you do it by yourself from here, or shall I solve it further? Do write in the comment. If you are feeling that I should solve it further, I'll definitely do it. But if you feel confident that here from this step you will do it by yourself, I'll skip or stop here. But I hope everybody has understood the integration part. The part where you were converting into the variable separable form was only the tricky part. Otherwise, this clearly was simple, sorted, and decent. Can I move ahead from here? So when I go ahead from here, I'll show you the next question for the day. It is 6:55 on my screen. We'll resume at 7. So let's take a 5 minutes break. We'll resume our session at 7 p.m. Right? Take a 5 minutes break. All right, students. So let's resume with this question. Can you all see this question right there on the screen? I hope I'm clearly audible and visible to all the participants here. What does this question say? Have a look at this particular part. Let me refresh the screen so that let me ensure that we are properly visible. Hold on for a while. I think it is going great. We are clearly visible and audible to all the participants. Yes, great, perfect. Now with that coming into picture, what do we see from here? Fx is GIF of x square minus GIF of x plus 3 minus 3, where x belongs to any real number and this represents GIF. Great, great, great. Hold on for a while. Now, how do I solve this? Whenever you have an integer in GIF, you can take it outside. So this f of x, first of all, can here be written as GIF of x square plus, or rather minus GIF of x minus 3, that's minus 6. Now for a while, let me take GIF of x as t if you wish to. Otherwise, if you are comfortable, you can go ahead with that as well. So here, if I use the splitting the middle term, can I use this or convert this? 3 into 2 will do the job. So I can write this f of x as GIF of x square minus 3 times GIF of x plus 2 times GIF of x minus 6. Are you understanding it? So f of x here becomes what? First factor will be GI of x minus 3. Did you get that? If I have taken GIF of x common. And there, when you take GIF of x common to make it x minus 3, GIF of x minus 3, I'll take plus 2 common. Give me a quick confirmation. Did you understand this? How did I factorize it? Are you all there listening, watching and understanding it? So from here, what I do here is, what am I told? What am I told? What am I told? That here, the greatest integer function is involved. X belongs to any real number. Okay. Now options we need to look at. So when I look at the options, the first option says fx is greater than 0 only for x belongs to 4 to infinity. So let's use the wavy curve method and let's check option A and option B, first and second option. How do I verify it? For a while, let's say that here, I hope you wouldn't get confused with this, that here the critical or the points where it changes its behavior will be minus 2 and 3. So plus, minus, plus. But the variable is not x here, the variable is GIF of x. Please understand this. So when you talk about f of x being positive, so f of x is positive either for GIF of x greater than 3 or less than minus 2. So when you say that fx will be positive, then my conclusion will be that GIF of x should be either less than minus 2 or GIF of x should be greater than 3. It should not even be equal to. Whether that do you not say or do you not think that, sir, very clearly we have reached to this conclusion that GIF of x should be greater than 3, which means I cannot have 3.1, 3.2 because their GIF will be 3. So I need to take values greater than 4. So from here, I'll say that x should be greater than 4. X should be greater than 4. But here I am getting one more conclusion. There is a problem that it is saying only 4. It is not only 4. For the values which are greater than 4, it is positive. But it is positive for some more values of x where GIF of x is less than minus 2. Did you understand my statement? For example, if you are getting confused, I'll say this is minus 2, this is minus 3. Now, I want GIF of x to be less than minus 2. So here, if I take any value less than minus 2, for example, minus 2.1, its GIF will be minus 3, which is of course less than minus 2. So here, any value of x which I take to be less than minus 2 will be having its GIF less than minus 2. Are you understanding my statement very clearly? Are you understanding this? I hope you are getting it. So with that, f of x is positive, but not just for the values of x which are greater than 4, but also for the values of x which are less than minus 2. And with that, I will say that option 1 is wrong. That is not complete. Let's check it for option B. So for option B, we want fx to be negative. Fx will be negative when GIF of x. Fx will be negative when GIF of x lies between minus 2 to 3. Are you understanding this? I hope you are getting it very clearly. Now, between minus 2 to 3, if I wish to take GIF of x, so can I say something about x? Sir, I'll say that can I take the value of x as minus 1.9? Sir, if I take the GIF of minus 1.9, it will be minus 2, which I cannot take. So I'll say x will be greater than minus 1. Can I take x to be 3.9? I cannot, because the GIF of 3.9 will be 3, which is not acceptable. So I should take it to be less than 3, because 2.9, 2.8 will have their GIF as 2, which is less than 3. So for that, I have to take x to be between -1 and 3. If it is needed to be between -1 and 3, there is a small correction here. It should have been an open interval like this. I hope you're understanding it very clearly. So with that, I am in a position to state that option B is the correct answer. Did you all understand this? Even option C and option D, you are comfortable with that. How do you do the piecewise integration or definite integration for these functions, for fraction power of x, for GIF of x? We'll definitely see an example on it, but here, I hope you must have understood option A and option B. Can I move ahead from here? All these students who are watching and learning. The next question which we see is something really interesting. If you could crack this question, you could crack it with the help of the concepts of quadratic equations as well. Well, there are two methods to solve this. One of methods is that you first simplify the modulus and then solve it. Or if you may notice something very simple here, you could crack it with the help of quadratic as well. How? Let's have a discussion on that. But before I start solving it, you tell me, how will you convert it into a quadratic without even removing the mod? Can you help me with that? What I'm suggesting you to do here is a very simple idea we are thinking of applying is that here, I am asking you to club this. Why? When you club this, what do I mean by clubbing this? Here, you will have x minus 6 root x plus 9. So you have clubbed this data plus this, which is of course minus 2 plus root 3 times whole of modulus of under root over x minus 3. I hope there is no confusion on that. Minus 2 root 3. Minus 2 root 3 is equal to 0. That's the equation. Let me check it. X minus 6 root x plus 9 minus 2 plus root 3 mod x mod root x minus 3, and that's minus 2 root 3. Yes. Now, why did we do it? Can you not say or see or call it that it is under root x square? So this is a square plus b square minus 2ab. Can you see it like that? I hope you are seeing it. Under root x square, 3 square. This is minus 2 into 3 into root x. I hope you got it. So it is a minus b whole square. So when a minus b whole square comes into picture, you will say under root x minus 3 whole square. So whether you write it as under root x minus 3 whole square or square of modulus of root x minus 3, that's same. I hope you understood it. With this coming into picture, this is minus 2 plus root 3 times mod of root x minus 3 and minus 2 root 3. And the best thing here is that you need not apply Sridharacharya formula. This is already given in the middle term splitted form. Why am I saying so? Because if for a while, if you get confused, you can say that, sir, you could take mod of under root x minus 3 as t for a while. So when you do so, t square plus something t minus something. So splitting the middle term when comes into picture, this quadratic I'm treating as a quadratic in this variable, mod of under root over x minus 3. I hope you're understanding this. So with this coming into picture, minus 2 plus root 3. So minus 2 into this plus root 3 into this. So minus 2 into root 3 is minus 2 root 3. So this is sum, this is product. They have already given it in this form. So can I not split it? It is already given in the middle term splitted form, if you are understanding my words very clearly. So when I take this and this common from here, I hope you have understood my words very clearly. I'll be left with, if you are still getting confused, I'll split it more clearly so that you don't create any problems. So t square plus, or rather minus 2t plus root 3t, I hope you're understanding it, minus 2 root 3 is equal to 0. I repeat, t square minus 2t plus root 3t minus 2 root 3 is equal to 0. So from here, when you take t common from here, it leaves you with t minus 2. I hope you have understood it. Now, what did I take common? T. And to have a t minus 2 here, I'll have plus root 3 common from here. That should be equal to 0. Did you all get that? But what was t? Sir, t was basically this. So when you solve this particular part further, you'll have mod of under root x minus 3 to be 2 here. And the next result will be mod of under root of x minus 3 to be negative of root 3. Modulus of a number can never be negative, so this solution is clearly discarded. I am discarding it. Now when I go ahead with this, when I remove this modulus sign, I'll be left with plus minus 2. So from here, root x will be 3 plus minus 2. Did you get that part, or shall I repeat this explanation? Root x minus 3 will be plus minus 2. So root x will be 3 plus 2 and minus 2. 3 plus 2 is 5. 3 minus 2 is 1. So I've gotten two answers, 5 and 1. So with this 5 and 1 coming into picture, what are we asked? I think the next part is really simple. It has roots alpha and beta. By the way, it is the value of root x. So from here, you need to understand x will be, this is root x, which is 5 and 1. So x will be 25 and 1. So the greater root is beta. So this will be beta. This will be alpha. And from here, I'm not going to help you with the answer. You can by yourself crack the final answer, which is going to be, I think, 10, because 25 upon 1, 25 into 1. So that's 5 plus 5. That's 10. Option C. Are we comfortably understanding this? Can I move ahead from here? Did you all develop a great sense from here? Now the next question. Again, a question based on binomial theorem, where we are talking about the coefficients. But with this binomial theorem, they have merged the concept of sequence and series as well. So how do we solve this particular question? Look at this. Sum of all possible values of n, where n is a natural number, so that coefficients of x, x square and x cube are in this expansion are in AP. In this expansion are in AP. Great. We'll talk about AP later. Congratulations, all of the results. For all the results, you will be improving a great deal. Just keep working with us. Great going, Dipendra sir. Our very own Virat Kohli. Thank you so much. Our very own MS Dhoni, Mahendra Singh Dhoni, Gaurav sir, the senior most faculty. One of the finest chemistry faculty you can have. One of the finest faculties of chemistry you can have. He knows things in a very deep and a very detailed manner. A very in-depth understanding of chemistry he brings for you. I hope you must have noticed in all the sessions which he has been conducting so far. Right now here. Thank you so much, Gaurav sir, for the inspiration. Now I have gotten more enthusiasm. I'll be pushing more or harder with this. So just give me a quick confirmation, Gaurav sir. Is this result announced or are these spams? Sonali and Potato. So are the results announced for the JEE Mains? Just give me a quick confirmation if you could check it from the website. So here we have this 1 plus x square whole raised to the power 2. So when I simplify this, I'll have 1 plus x to the power 4 plus, of course, 2x square. Did you get it? But if I could rearrange it in a better format, I'll have x to the power 4 plus 2x square plus 1, so that I can think more logically or clearly or simply. With this, we already have this 1 plus x to the power n, and I need not tell you how does it look like, the expansion. If I wish to write it, I'll definitely will have nc0 x to the power 0 plus nc1. N is not defined, then x to the power 1 plus nc2, then x to the power 2, and so on until ncn. That's not a matter of concern here. Now, what are we interested in? We are interested in x, x square, and x cube, the coefficients of them. So when you talk about the coefficient of x, this and this will definitely not give you the coefficient of x. This 1 into something will give you the coefficient of x. And from there, that's great, Gaurav sir. So congratulations, everyone. Gaurav sir has confirmed it. The results are announced for JEE Mains. And I personally would like to take the privilege here in this live that JEE Mains, IIT JEE results are announced. Go visit the website and do share your results in the chat box here. We'll really appreciate it. We would really love to see your results coming here. Great, great, great. If I'm allowed to, I'll definitely be sharing I'll be giving more updates. But here, let's treat this as an opportunity that IIT JEE Mains, the January attempt results are announced. Gaurav sir has validated it. He has just confirmed it in the comment box. And I congratulate all the participants who have performed really well. Even if you haven't, do remember this dialogue from the movie Batman. Why do we fall? So that we can learn to pick ourselves up. That's exactly what the movie Batman, the original movie Batman. Batman has its own versions, but the movie which we have seen, as our generation has seen, has this dialogue. Remember this, we have a rank booster batch where we are preparing you with these mocks for the April attempt. We have brought this series as well, where we are making you consolidate all the concepts with the help of these selected quality questions from the January attempt. So we are there to assist you. Sumit sir for physics, Gaurav sir for chemistry, and for maths, I am there. With that, let's resume with this question. So go and see your results, students. Will be really appreciating if you drop your results here. We'll be really appreciating that. Here, getting back to this discussion, we were saying that the coefficient of x, what do you say about coefficient of x? Let me just show you whether we have started receiving the results or not. So let me just type NTA. Let me see whether we are seeing the results or not, so that we can confirm it, or we could show it to you. So NTA JEE Mains, right? So this is going to be the website here. And I think NTA has released the results. Let me just confirm it, but maybe because of the server load, it might be crashing here. So I'll try and show it to here. Let me show it to you here, that whether it is visible or not. Again, the website is crashing. So if the website is getting crashed, that means the results are announced. It is not opening. That clearly indicates the results are announced. So congratulations, everyone. Results are announced. Go and check your results and do share your results in the comment box. Meanwhile, I am solving this question right there in front of you. How do we solve this question here, students? Here, I'll say that coefficient of x, right? So coefficient of x means what? NC1. So that's the coefficient of x. So if I talk about the coefficient of x, that's clearly nothing but NC1. I think nothing else can be brought here. Now, when you talk about coefficient of x square, so nothing can be brought from here. 2x square into NC0 will be the coefficient of x square. That's great, Adityan. Nothing wrong with 89 percentile. And if you have 89 percentile, you hold a decent chance of developing or improving. Because with 89, with these coming all remaining days, you can definitely score better. And we have faith in you. Just keep learning, keep improving, keep practicing. Great, great, Aditya. With this, I was talking about the coefficient of x square. So coefficient of x square is going to be what? NC0 into 2. So this will give me 2 times NC0. I'll write it more properly here. Twice of NC0. But with this x square, I'll have one more thing. 1 into NC2. So that will be 1 into NC2. So that will be the coefficient of x square. Great. So all the other participants also do write your responses. What have you gotten as your result? We'll be really happy to see your results coming into picture. Now, let's talk about x cube. So the coefficient of x cube, again, x to the power 4 will have no role in deciding at all. When you talk about 2x square, so 2x square into x, so NC1, so 2 times NC2. So x cube will be 2 times NC2 plus, for one more thing, x cube will be 1 into NC3. So 1 into NC3 will give me the coefficient of x cube. So these are the three terms which are given to be in AP, arithmetic progression. So if they are in AP, the middle term is the arithmetic mean of the extreme two terms. So with that, I'll say double of the middle term. So double of middle term means what? 4 times NC0 plus double of NC2. NC2 should be equal to the sum of the extreme two terms, which is NC1 plus what? 2 times NC2 plus NC3. Now it's simply a matter of simplifying this expression, and with that expression, you would be getting the final answer. What are we asked? The sum of all possible values of n. Great. Now, how do I solve this particular question? I hope you remember, there is no confusion on that how do we find the formula NCR. There is a short technique as well, but since it is NCR, you got to simply expand it. We know it is n factorial upon r factorial times n minus r factorial. Do you remember that? I hope there is no confusion on that. So with this coming into picture, I hope you know this. With this coming into picture, NC0 is always 1. So this is 4. NC2 I'll be writing as n minus 1. The short technique I'm using, 2 should be there, divided by 2 into 1. I hope you're understanding it. NC1 is always n plus 2 times NC2 gives you n minus 1 divided by 2 into 1, plus NC3 is n minus 1, n minus 2 divided by 3 into 2 into 1. Now, one thing which I'm skipping here is that you simplify this. You simplify this and you would see it getting converted into a cubic most probably. It will be getting converted into a cubic. Ash is saying, sir, I got 99.2 percentile in 2 months of efforts after wasting 1.7 years. I highly doubt it, Ash or Ash, because it's really difficult to say something like this, that you get 99 percentile in 2 months. No, you don't get that. You actually study, but you don't realize the efficiency which you have put there in those 1.7 years. So you must have invested all your 2 years or your entire life so far, in this preparation of IT JEE directly, indirectly, subtly, and that's where, and that's because of that you have got a 99.2 percentile. Congratulations, by the way, if you have really gotten this. Moving ahead with this conclusion, all I'm saying is that it will be a cubic in n. So if I start simplifying this, first of all, of course, I'll be simplifying this like this, that this 2 gets cancelled by this 2 cancels this. And then I got to multiply both the sides by 6. That's what we are supposed to do. So when I multiply both the sides by 6, one more thing we can clearly do from here is that here n minus 1 leaves you with this n minus 1, which can be cancelled here because they are identical. So it is 4 minus n here. I hope you're understanding it. So if I rewrite this particular part, here it will be 4 minus n from here. So this will be 4 minus n from here. And on the right hand side, what will I have? n minus 1, n minus 2 by 6. So it will be n minus 1, n minus 2 divided by 6, right? So this is n minus 1, n minus 2 divided by 6. When this 6 is pushed there, this is 24 minus 6n is equal to, now when you multiply this, this is n, this n minus 1, n minus 2 gives you n square minus 2n minus n, that's minus 3n plus 2, right? And this clearly gives you 24 minus 6n is equal to n cube minus what? 3n square plus 2n. Give me a quick confirmation. Are we going great? N cube minus 3n square plus 2n, right? Now when you simplify this, n cube is there, minus 3n square is there, you cannot do anything with that. And there you see 2n plus 6n, that is 8n, minus 24 to be equal to 0. Did you understand this whole part? Now from here, written trial comes into picture. That's what you got to do. Otherwise, you, of course, simply cannot get rid of it. So this solution comes into picture. But even before you do so, what are we asked? It will have 3 roots. Let's say alpha, beta, and gamma. And what about sum of the roots? So sum of the roots taken one at a time, alpha plus beta plus gamma is minus b upon a. So it should be minus of minus 3 upon 1. That's plus 3. So option A should be marked as correct answer, but option D is given as the correct answer. Have I made any error with the calculation here? Let me just cross check it. What are we asked? They are in AP. Then what are sum of all possible values of n? So this is a cubic in n, right? So if this is a, let me just cross check it once again. So this is n cube minus 3n square plus 2n. So I think this is great, n cube. I may have made some error. Can we use options to find answers? Killer Gaming is saying. I doubt Killer, because because in the options you are not given the values of n. This is sum of all the possible values of n. And when you see this cubic coming into picture, you are clearly realizing that means 3 values of n will be there. So one of the thing which I am doing incorrectly is that n could be having repeated roots here. N could be having repeated roots here. Let me just cross check this particular part. What is wrong with this cubic? If this cubic is not same as what I have gotten, then I think we got to resolve this question. So hold on for a while. I'll just give you more clarity in a while. So I think this would be, I may have done some calculation based error. Let me just verify this here. X to the power 4, 2x square plus 1. That's this. So when you talk about the coefficient of x, that is clearly NC1. When you talk about coefficient of x square, that will be 2 times NC0 and NC2. When you talk about the coefficient of x cube, that will be 2 times NC. Yes. That's the problem. I have made an error. So when I am really sorry for this, I have done a terrible mistake, and because of that, the entire calculation has gone wrong. When you talk about the coefficient of x cube, see, 2x square into this, which means 2 into NC1 should be there. So why have I written it as 2 into NC2? It should be 2 NC1 plus coefficient of x cube will be 1 into NC3. So with this coming into picture, there is a slight correction here. I'll make that entire correction go correct here. Let me just first of all redo this particular part here. This part also needs to be redone. Now I think I'll possibly get the right answer. So with this 4 NC0 will give me 4 into 1. With this 2 NC2 will be 2 n minus 1 divided by 2 into 1. This NC1 is of course n. This is 2NC2. So 2 times n minus 1. This is NC not 2. This is NC1 actually. 2 times NC1 plus NC3. Again, I would have made the same mistake here. So I hope we are going great now. So this is 3NC1. So that should be 3n. That should be 3n. Just correct me if I'm wrong. And this is NC3. NC3 we all write as n minus 1, n minus 2 divided by 3. Now when you do this, everyone listen to this part very carefully. Now when you solve this, you will get a cubic, and when you take the sum of the roots, because all the possible values of n, that sum needs to be taken, you will get the final answer. Can I skip this part now? You need to do the same process again, which I mistakenly did with NC2, which was NC1 actually. So I hope you will get the final answer correctly now. Moving towards the next question. From here, what I do here is, the next question says that from the first 100 natural numbers, two numbers, first A, then B, are selected, and then they are selected randomly without replacement. Without replacement, two numbers A and B, right? So they should be distinct because first A and then B. So without replacement means what? That they should be distinct. If the probability that A minus B should be greater than or equal to 10 is m upon n, then I think we can crack this question. How do we crack this question? That's a question. Now, the idea is really simple. Can you help me with the approach here, students? First of all, how many numbers are there? There are 100 numbers. There are 100 numbers. We choose A first, then B later. And we need to ensure that A minus B should be greater than or equal to 10. I will talk about the favorable cases later, but let me talk about the total number of cases, the sample space. So, two numbers are to be chosen. Two numbers are to be chosen. I'll choose the first number first. So out of 100 numbers, first number can be chosen in 100C1 ways, and then from the remaining 99 numbers, the other number can be chosen in 99C1 ways. That means the sample space is going to be 100 into 99. First of all, did you get that? 100 into 99 will be the sample space without any confusion or hesitation. But when you talk about the favorable cases, now, what do I mean by favorable cases? When I say favorable cases, I need to ensure A minus B should be greater than or equal to 10. First case, the basic case. Of course, this is not given as a mod. You are not given a mod here, which means A will be the greater number, B will be the lesser number. That is the constraint which you need to take care of. And that will actually help in keeping the problem more simpler. Why? Can I take A to be somewhere between 1 and 10? No. The least value of A which I can take to be 11. Because with 11 comma 1, 11 minus 1 will be 10. Did you get my statement? I am fixing B here. Let's say, let me show you some cases. Let's say when I keep B as 1, what choices for A I have? I can say the minimum value of A could be 11, and it can be taken up till, what is the highest value there? 100. So it can be taken up till 100. Can you help me with this data? Why have I done it? I am calculating manually, and you are getting the idea very clearly here with this data. So when B is 1, A will be from 11 to 100. 100 minus 11. I hope you have understood this very clearly. This is 89. 89 plus 1 is 90. So these are the 90 cases. Now, the other case will be when I take B as 2. So when I take B as 2, how many choices do I have for A? So A now will begin with 12 and it will go till 100. So now I'm having how many choices? 89 choices. 2, 12, 2, 13 up till 2, 100. That fulfills the case. I hope you have gotten this idea. So with this coming into picture, I think we have seen the pattern. The last value of B which I could take would be, I need to ensure that the difference is greater than or equal to 10. So can I keep B to be 90? Can you tell me, can I keep the value of B to be 90? Because when B at most to the greatest extent is kept to be 90, in that case, the only choice A is having is to be 100. Now, this is our final case, and that's the only one choice we have in this case. I hope you have understood it. B cannot be greater than 90 because if it is 91, A has to be greater than 100, which is not a possibility. So I'm clearly saying 90, 89, 89, these are the cases. So that is 1 plus 2 until what? Until 90. I think from here, even a 10th class student can solve this question. Sum of first 90 natural numbers, that is given by n plus 1 divided by 2, and this is clearly given as 100 into 99. So from here, I think I need not solve this question. You can tell me the answer. A basic calculation is needed to be done. You simplify this completely because m is to n should have this GCD to be 1, and there you can crack this question. That's great, clear gaming guy. Great, great, great. That's great that you're responding. With that, let's move towards the next question. A decent question, a basic question of the understanding of functions. And if you know that, you can crack this question within seconds. How? Have a look at that. I'll simply suggest you the very basic idea. We are told that there are two sets. Let's talk about set A. Let's talk about the set A. So if I talk about the set A, modulus of this is less than equal to 1, which means the brackets I think are creating some confusion. No, they are not. So I hope you remember that when mod x is given to be less than A, we know that x lies between minus A to A. Do you remember that? That basic idea is what I'm applying here. So when mod of this expression is less than equal to 1, I'll say that x minus 3 will be lying between minus 1 to 1. Did you understand this? Now I'll add 3 on both these sides. So that gives me the idea that mod x minus 3 shall be less than equal to 3 plus 1, that's 4, and shall be 3 minus 1, that's 2. Are you understanding it? So mod of x minus 3 should be greater than 2 and less than 4. With this, I hope you have built the great clarity here that whenever mod x is between a and b, it is between minus b to minus a and from a to b. Do you remember this inequality? If you have gotten confused with this, you could split it like this, and then also you can solve it separately. But that is what we don't suggest at this stage. You being an ITJEE aspirant should be able to crack it from right here only. I repeat my part. What I'm suggesting here is that let's say mod x is from, let's say, 2 to 4. Then what you say is that, sir, x will be from minus 4 to minus 2 or from 2 to 4. That's what I'm suggesting here. And this is what you should already know or be aware of. So when you apply this data here in this question, you would be saying that, sir, mod of x minus 3 is basically from, hold on for a while, what is, come on. Give me a second, students. I need to rewrite this. There is something wrong with the board. So I'll try and write it here. Yes, we can. So this, I'll say that mod of x minus 3 will be from minus 1 plus 3, that's 2, and 3 plus 1, that's 4. So I'll say that mod of x minus 3 when removed, x minus 3 is either from minus 4 to minus 2, or x minus 3 is from either what, 2 to 4. Did you get that part? Are you understanding this very clearly? From here, when I solve this particular part, what I get is when I add 3 on both these sides. So minus 4 plus 3 is basically minus 1. Did you get that? And 3 minus 2, that's 1. Or from here, the values of x which we receive are going to be 3 plus 2, that's 5, and 4 plus 3, that's 7. Are you understanding this comfortably without any hesitation? Did you all get this idea very clearly? I hope you all are very much clear with this conclusion which I have received. Even if you get confused with the result which we have gotten, you can verify it any of the results. Let's say I take the value of x as 0. So 0 minus 3 is 3 with the mod taken. So 3 minus 3 is 0. That satisfies it. 6 you can take from here. So 6 minus 3 is 3. 3 minus 3 is 0. That also satisfies it. So are you understanding it? So these are the values we have taken. Now here, when you talk about, we need to take x from, x should be a z, which is an integer. So when you are told that x is an integer, the integral value between minus 1 and 1 will be 0 here. The integral value between 5 and 7 will be 6. So from set A, I could conclude that set A has two elements which are 0 and 6. That's how you define the set A. Everyone understood this comfortably. Can I move ahead from here? Now, when I talk about the next data is set B. How do we define set B? For set B, we know that this is equal to 0. That means either x should be 2 or 4. Of course, x cannot be 1. Or mod of this should be 1 because log of 1 on any base is 0. So the third case is mod of x minus 2 should be 1. Now, can I take x as 2? If I take x as 2, 2 minus 2 will be 0. Log of 0 is not defined. So I'll discard this value 2 here. Can I take x as 4? I can, because with that 4 minus 4 and there 4 minus 2. So that is perfectly defined. So 4 is a perfectly acceptable value. When you talk about x minus 2's mod to be 1, I'll say x minus 2 should be plus minus 1. So I'll say x should be 2 plus minus 1. So there I get two values of x, 3 and 1. 3 and 1. Can I verify this? Yes. But what is wrong with 1? I think there is something wrong with 1. 1 is there in the denominator, x minus 1. So 1 cannot be an acceptable value. So I have gotten how many values? 3 and 4. These are the two values. I have gotten two values. I have gotten two values, 3 and 4. Do you all agree with this? Then the number of onto functions. Are we going great? I hope I haven't made any mistakes here so far with whatever I've done so far. Are we all going great here? Because to me, it is not going to match with one of the options, because 62 is not going to be the number of mappings. Can I cross check it once again? But let me continue with this particular part. The values of x which we have gotten from here are going to be 3 and 4. Those are the two only acceptable values. So for set B, the acceptable values are going to be 3, 4. Do you all agree with this on me? Okay, I hope you have gotten this idea. Let me confirm or validate it for set A. So I hope there is no confusion with the sign or idea here. Mod of x minus 3 should lie between minus 1 and 1. So mod of x minus 3 should be between 2 and 4. So with that, x minus 3 should be from minus 2 to 2, minus 4 to minus 2, or 2 to 4. So with that, x should be minus 4 plus 3, that's minus 1. Minus 2 plus 3, that's 1. Or from 5 to 7. Yes. So with that, I have gotten this as 0 and 6. Yes, these are the two values I have attained from here and two values I have attained from here. I think we are going great. But here, x can be any real number. Yes, here x can be any real number. I think there is something wrong with the question or the language of the question. Because if x can be any real number, I have a lot of choices here. I have a lot of choices here if it is equal to 0. No, that is fine. I have only two choices, 3 and 4. Even if I proceed with the data I'm given here in this question so far, now f a to b, I need to ensure that the mapping is onto. I hope you understand onto. So from the total number of mappings, if I remove the mappings which are into, I'll be left with the onto mappings. But I am thinking that there is something wrong with the data I'm given, with the sign scheme which is given in the question, because this wouldn't match with the answers. I hope you're understanding here. Set A we have received as 0, 6. Set B we have received as 3, 4. So I hope you're clearly seeing there are only 4 mappings. I mean 4 kinds of functions are there. I hope you're understanding this. I think there is some problem with this. Let's skip this question. I'll get it done. I'll check this data of the question first of all, then I'll come back to this question. So I'm skipping this question. I'll definitely solve this question in the end, because I think there is something wrong with the typing. Because of that, the options are not matching. Otherwise, we'll do it later, after coming back to this question. Let's move to the next question here. Then we'll get back to this question. What's wrong here? Here. Let's solve this question. It says A, B, C are 3 vectors such that A cross B is equal to 2 times A cross C. Okay. So if I rearrange this data, can I say A cross B should be written as A cross B minus 2 times A cross C. This is how you can write it. Should be 0. So A vector, pre-multiplication by vector A is being done. So I can say that from here, I'll say vector A cross B minus 2C should be 0. So when cross of these two products vectors is 0, which means they should be parallel because they are clearly non-zero. So if they are parallel, I'll say that here B minus 2C should be lambda times of vector A. With this, I can say that vector B should be equal to lambda A plus 2C. First of all, did you understand this particular part? Can I move ahead from here? Now, what are we told? One more thing, the angle between vector B and C is 60 degree. Great. A dot C is what we need to figure out. A dot C is what we need to figure out. I will figure it out, but before I figure this A dot C out, can I square both the sides? Can I take mod on both the sides? So when I take mod on both the sides, I'll have mod B is equal to lambda A plus 2C mod. And if I take square on both these sides, I think I'll be getting something what I wish to get. But for that, I need to crack lambda here. Now, how do I crack lambda here? B minus 2c, we could have assumed as lambda a, or a could have been assumed as lambda b minus 2c, but that would have created a lot of problems here. So I think we are going great with this. Now, B and C is having an angle 60 degree. Instead of having this, which will complicate it a little, can I say that lambda a can be written as b minus 2c? That is what we have written over here. So if lambda a is b minus 2c, I'm squaring both these sides because angle between b and c is given to be 60. So here lambda a is given as b minus 2c. Now I'm taking mod on both these sides. What is wrong with this board? So when I take mod on both these sides, I'm squaring both these sides. I hope you're understanding it. With that, this will be lambda square vector a square. This will give me vector b square plus 4 times vector c square minus 2 into 2, that is 4 times b dot c. Did you understand this part comfortably, students? Are you all there? With this coming into picture, what I do next is lambda square. What is lambda? Lambda is exactly what we are trying to figure out. A square. What is A? A is given as 1, so that I skip. B square. B is given as 4, so 4 into 4 is 16 plus 4 times mod c square. So that is 4. 4 plus 4 is again 16 minus 4 times b dot c. So 4 into 2, 8 into we have 60. So cos 60, that is of course sine 30, which is 1 by 2. Are you all understanding this comfortably, students? Can I move ahead from here? So I think we can go ahead from here and we can crack the value of lambda, which is going to be a pretty simple task from here. This is going to be 2. So this is going to be 16. 16 minus 16 is 0. So lambda square turns out to be 16. And there I can say that lambda will be plus minus 4. So I think we have cracked a lot of things. Now when we talk about figuring out A dot C, I think this wouldn't be a tough task, because when I wish to have A dot C, I think I have cracked A dot C with this. Because if I take this, what am I given? Lambda A is equal to B minus 2C. If I take dot by C on both these sides, here I'll have lambda A dot C here. This will be B dot C. This will be minus 2C dot C. I hope you have gotten it. So this will be lambda, which is of course plus minus 4, which I'll substitute in the end, is equal to B dot C. B dot C we have already cracked, is basically 8 into 1 by 2. I hope you have understood it. 4 into 2, 8, and cos 60, that's 1 by 2. So 8 by 2. I hope I'm writing it correct. So that's 4 minus 2 times C dot C. C is basically 2. So mod C square, that is 4. I hope there is no confusion on that. You are understanding it comfortably. So this is 4 minus 8. That's minus 4. Now, when you talk about A dot C, this should be minus 4 upon lambda. Lambda is plus minus 4. So this should be plus minus 1. But we are asked about mod of A dot C. So when I say mod of A dot C, it should be plus 1. Did you understand this comfortably? Can I move ahead with the next question here? Let's solve the next question for the day. Let us solve the next question for the day. How do we do this particular one? Can you see this right there on the screen? It says A is a matrix given to us. 0, 0, 0, 2 minus 2, 3 minus 3, 1 minus 1. So I can clearly say that it is a skew-symmetric matrix. It is indeed a skew-symmetric matrix because transpose of A will be negative of A. Can you all not see it right there? And B is a matrix which is B, I minus A, I plus A. Okay. Then the sum of the diagonal elements of B transpose B. So let's think of it in this manner. B times I minus A is equal to I plus A. Right. This is what we are given. I hope you all can see it right there. Now what I do next is, can I multiply both the sides? Post multiplication I'm thinking of doing by I minus A. So when I do that, I minus A inverse. So B will be I minus A inverse. When I do here, it becomes identity matrix. So that leaves you with B on the left hand side. And it will be I plus A times I minus A inverse. Did you all understand this comfortably? Now, this is going to be B. Can I talk about B transpose? So if I talk about B transpose, I'll take transpose on both these sides. So B transpose will be, now transpose can be distributed over product, addition, or even inverse. It can be, swapped between inverse and transpose. So here it will be I plus A transpose times I minus A inverse over transpose, or transpose over inverse. They can be swapped. So transpose inverse. I hope I can do that without any confusion. You must have understood this particular part. Now, this transpose, so I transpose is I because that is the identity matrix. So B transpose is going to be, I hope we are doing it great or correct. So B transpose from here is going to be I plus A transpose. And here it is going to be, when I distribute this transpose over this subtraction, I minus A transpose inverse. Right? Did you get that? I hope there is no confusion on that. This is A, right? This is A here. Now, from here, I'll say B transpose will be I plus A transpose. We know that A is a skew symmetric matrix. A transpose will be minus A. So this will be I minus A. This is I. A transpose is minus A. So minus of minus plus A. Minus of A transpose should be plus A. So this is I plus A inverse. Did you understand this part very clearly? Can I move ahead with this conclusion here? Now, this is B. This is B transpose. Now, what I'm trying to suggest here is that when you multiply B with B transpose, I repeat, when you multiply B with B transpose, or even if you multiply I plus A on both sides, or rather I'll multiply this B with B transpose. So B, the pre-multiplication by B I'm doing on both sides. So this will be B into BT. But this I'm taking as the value of B, and by this I'm doing the pre-multiplication on this. So this will be I plus A. This will be I plus A times I minus A inverse times I minus A times I plus A inverse. Now, why did I do all this? I hope you all can see it very clearly. I minus A inverse, I minus A. So a matrix and its inverse gives you identity matrix. So I doesn't matter now. This I plus A inverse. Again, identity matrix into identity matrix gives you the identity matrix. So we could crack that B transpose is identity matrix, which means B and B transpose are reciprocal of, inverse of each other. So if they are inverse of each other, B transpose B, we have cracked that B transpose is the identity matrix. So on those grounds, I wouldn't hesitate in saying that B transpose B will also be an identity matrix. So if it is an identity matrix, the sum of the diagonal elements of an identity matrix is clearly 1 plus 1 plus 1. That's 3 would be the correct answer to this question. Can I move ahead with this question? Let's solve the next question here. A question based on indefinite integration. Of course, you can crack this particular part, but matter of concern here is this. How do we crack this? Let's try and get rid of this ln(t). So let's assume that ln(t) to be x here. So from here, I'll say e to the power x is going to be t. So from here, I'll say e to the power x dx will be dt. Will you all agree with this me? Yeah, I hope there is no confusion on that, whatever I've done so far. So with this, I'll say that when you talk about f of t, it will be integration over 1 minus sine ln t is x. So this is 1 minus sine x divided by 1 minus cos x. I hope there is no confusion on that. Dt should be replaced by e to the power x dx. Now we have discussed it even in yesterday's rank booster mock 3 analysis as well. The moment you see e to the power x coming into picture, you should try and split this other function as a sum of two functions, which are where one of the functions is derivative of the other function. I hope you remember this technique, which we have discussed, that whenever you solve something like this, e to the power x fx plus f dash x dx, then this is always e to the power x fx plus c, of course, the constant of integration. This is something which is highly or very much loved by IIT JEE. In a lot of questions, you will be seeing this particular result getting used. So do learn, do memorize, and do remember it. Now, can I get back to the discussion we all were having? Now, my job is to convert this into as a summation of two functions, where the first one or the other one is the derivative of the other one. How do I do it? Here. 1 minus cos 2 theta. Do you know that? So here it should be integration over 1 minus cos 2 theta is 2 sine square theta. So this should be 2 sine square x by 2. This 1 I'll keep as 1, but this sine x I'll be writing as 2 sine x by 2 cos x by 2. I hope you have understood it. Half angle formulae I have tried using here, and this e to the power x stays there dx. Any confusions on that, whatever I've done so far? Now I think our job is almost done with this coming into picture. Integration e to the power x 1 by 2 sine square x by 2, that is clearly cosec. 1 by 2 is there, so 1 by 2 cosec square x by 2 minus this sign and this sign, this 2 and this 2 are cancelled, so cos upon sine is cot. This is minus cot x by 2. Now I hope most of you must be noticing that, sir, if you take minus cot x by 2 as f of x, if you treat this as f of x, the derivative of cot is minus cos x square. So minus of cot will be plus cos x square x by 2, and as per the chain rule, the derivative of x by 2 will be 1 by 2. So this is clearly f dash x. So this is e to the power x fx plus f dash x. So the answer is e to the power x fx. The answer is e to the power x fx. What is fx? Minus of cot x by 2. Remember, it is minus of cot of x by 2 plus c. From here, you are always given one condition. You replace x by e to the power pi by 2. With that you crack the constant of integration, and when you do that, you replace once again, and then you get the value of alpha, which is exactly what we have done in one more question with which we have started our session, second or third question possibly. So I hope you are understanding a good clarity here, and you would remember that this is something which you got to remember, which you must not forget at any cost. Can I move ahead from here? Now let's try and solve the next question from here. Here, this question is again based on area under the curve. How do we solve this? Let's try and learn the idea for that. A1 be the bounded area enclosed by the curves, this, right? And y-axis that lies in the first quadrant. So I need to restrict it in the first quadrant. So let's talk about the curve A1. Then we'll talk about A2. Sir, 57 percentile ST, my prep was good. Practicals exam killed it. No problem, D. Brogley. No problem. Let's see what happens, what comes next. But we wish you all the very best for the April attempt. And if you are preparing for it in a better manner, if you want to have a better score, we are there. We have our complete support. You have our complete support from our side. We are there with our rank booster batch. We are there with these sessions where we are bringing you the quality selected questions from the January attempt. So we are there to assist you in all possible ways. Just watch these with utmost sincerity. Make notes, take notes, or revise the notes, handwritten notes, which we provide on our WhatsApp channel. The links are given in the description. And yes, we are doing every possible thing to make your April attempt go better. I hope you all can see the efforts right there. With this coming into picture, we are now talking about A1 first. So what do we do here? A1 is going to be what? A1 is going to be what? It is 7:53. Let's take a 5 minutes break and then we'll resume. So I'll resume the session at 8 o'clock. Let me have a break because to perform well, we need to have at least 5 minutes break. Thought needs break basically. So we'll resume in 5 minutes. We'll resume at 8 o'clock, right? I'll definitely guide you on that, D. Broglie. Don't worry about that. I'll definitely guide you on that. All right. So, hello, hi everyone. Just give me a quick confirmation. Am I clearly audible and visible? Let's resume with this question here. Let's try and solve this. How to manage with boards? Sir, please guide me. I'm Laksh student. I'll say with boards, first of all, let's target boards. But when you prepare for boards, you understand when you are preparing for IIT JEE, boards are really not tough. For IIT JEE aspirants, boards are some really simple exams specifically for Hindi and English or some other language subjects, you should study there. But otherwise, for PCM, you need not study if you are an IIT JEE aspirant. So I'll say focus on IIT JEE, but try to balance it out. Try to work out that at what stage are you. You should devote your time as per the proportionality in that case. If you think that you are weak with your boards, you should devote more time. But if you think you can prepare with IIT JEE along with boards, you can devote more times to IIT JEE, then you should. So Piyush is saying 97 percentile. Oh, sorry, 79. I'm really sorry for that. Piyush will definitely have a live discussion right after this session. I'm coming live where we'll be announcing this and we'll be having a more detailed discussion there. So don't worry about that. We'll have a detailed discussion there regarding everything. Don't worry about that. Right after this session, we'll come live within 5 to 10 minutes and then we'll have a discussion on that. 45 days क्या करें कि 95 plus percentile आए? Yes, Piyush, we'll have a discussion on that. We'll have a detailed discussion on that and we'll keep coming with our strategy videos as well so that you keep preparing. But as of now, Piyush and everyone, focus on this question. These are the questions which will definitely help you, which we have brought from the January attempt so that you can prepare well, prepare better, you can get more idea about the trends, the pattern, the kind of exam it throws at you. So here, let's look at this question. First of all, let's talk about A1. So it is going to be y is equals to x square plus 2x plus y is equals to 8 and y-axis. So when you talk about A1, there you have x-axis and y-axis. When you say y is equals to x square plus 2, first quadrant is what we are saying. Y is equals to x square is this, which is going to be, of course, 2, 0, comma 2. So this is going to be the curve y is equals to x square plus 2 without any confusion. Now when you talk about x plus y is equal to 8. So the first point here will be, of course, 0, comma 8 and the other point here will be 8, comma 0. So this is going to be that other line. This is going to be that other line. So when you talk about the area under the curve, here it is going to be this region's area bounded by these two curves. I hope you have understood it. Y-axis, this and this. So upper curve minus lower curve. So A1 is going to be integration of what? This y is equals to 8 minus x minus the lower curve. The lower curve is x square plus 2 dx, of course, you got to do, which you all can do. Now let's figure out the lower limit and upper limit. The lower limit is clearly going to be 0. But when you talk about the upper limit will be this. I have taken a horizontal stripe here. I have taken a vertical stripe here. So this going to be the upper limit. Now upper limit means what? X square plus 2. X square plus 2 should be equal to what? 8 minus x. I hope I'm doing it correct. 8 minus x. So this should be what? X square plus x minus 6, I believe so. So minus 3. I hope you can clearly see x square minus 3x plus 2x minus 6 is equal to 0. I'm using it here like this. I hope I'm going great. So 3 comma minus 2. So minus 2 would be there. So I'll have here 3. So this point will be 3 comma something. That's something we are not interested in. We are going to use it as upper limit. From this, I hope it wouldn't be a very good or a greater or a large or a difficult problem for you to crack A1 from here. Simple integration it is. With that, how do we crack A2? Now let's talk about A2. Let's talk about A2. A2 is the area bounded by or enclosed by the curves x square plus 2, y square is equals to x and x is equal to 2. Okay. So how do we define A2? A2 will be, let me draw it somewhere else so that you don't get confused. The first curve is x square plus 2. Okay. So the first curve is x square plus 2. This is how you draw this curve. Again, the same curve. Y is equals to x square plus 2, right? Second curve, y square is equals to x. So when you talk about y square is equals to x, this is how you draw y square is equals to x. I hope there is no confusion on that. And here, x is equal to 2. X is equal to 2 means what? A line parallel to the y-axis. So this would be x is equal to 2. So when you talk about the region, this would be the region upper curve minus lower curve. So integration upper curve means what? X square plus 2. Lower curve means what? Y is equals to plus root x, the upper arm. So this is root x whole dx. Now let's talk about the lower limit and upper limit. Are you understanding it? Now the lower limit will be what? I am again taking from here to here. So this is 0 to 2. I hope there is no confusion on that. So this will be the value of a2. So is it really a tough task for you to solve this question? Is it not a simple question? Can you not do it by yourself now? Integrating them and getting the values of a1 and a2 will be a really simple task, and you can crack this question, right? Now let's talk about this question. Before we talk about this particular question, let me get back to this question. Yes, I was committing an error which I did not realize. This is equal. This is equality here. So if this is an equality here, I kept on using equality, but here I did not use it as an equality. So this would be equality, this would be equality, this would be equality. With that, if x was supposed to be an integer, x would be, or the set A will be, minus 101, minus 101, and 567. 567. So when you talk about the mappings now, this is not how the mappings will look like. From A to B, mappings are needed to be done, and they should be onto. Total minus into will be onto, because cracking into will be a really simple task. How am I going to crack that? Minus 1 has two choices. Either can be mapped with 3 or with 4. So this minus 1 has two choices, and this 0 has two choices, 1 has two choices. All of these 6 elements, two choices each, which means total number of functions will be 2 to the power 6. Minus the cases when all of these are mapped to 3, it will be into, because 4 will be left in the codomain. When all of these are mapped with 4, that will also be a case of into. So there are two functions which are into. So total minus into will be onto. That's your answer. I hope you have understood it very clearly. Option A, 62, 64 minus 2. Getting back to the discussion we all are having, let's resume with this question now. What does it say? This question says fx is defined as 7x to the power 10 plus 9x to the power 8, 1 plus x square plus 2x to the power 9 whole square dx. X is positive, limit x is 0, fx is 0. We are told this, we'll utilize this information. F1 is 1 by 4, F is a lot of things are there. Determinant, integration, limits, concept of matrices, a lot of things are there. First of all, don't get scared by looking at this data. I hope you know that the results are announced and we are coming live in a while. Very soon, I'll be taking a live session where we'll be addressing all your doubts, we'll be resolving all your concerns and queries, the way Piyush, D, Brogley, Killer Gaming and everyone is coming up with. For example, we have seen a lot of comments previously as well. Let me have an idea about the issues they are saying. Even Aditya said that he is not very happy with the results. So yes, we'll be resolving or addressing all your concerns in the live very soon after this session. But let's complete or cover this session first of all. Fx is defined like this. If I take x to the power 9 common here, I am seeing x to the power 9 common from the denominator and numerator. But when you take it from the denominator, it is actually square. So x to the power 18 will come into picture. So when that comes into picture, x to the power 18, when divides it, it leaves you with 7. X to the power 18 means what? 8. And this is 9 x to the power 10. I hope you are understanding it. X to the power 18 is what I'm dividing it by in the numerator and denominator. So here, when it goes inside this square sign, it becomes x to the power 9. So this leaves you with 1 upon x to the power 9 plus x square upon x to the power 9 is 1 upon x to the power 7. And then the next thing is going to be the part 2x to the power 9 upon x to the power 9. That leaves you with a 2 there. Are you comfortably understanding this? And this whole needs to be squared. If you now look at this part, I think our job is mostly done. Why am I saying so? Because when I take this expression, which expression? 1 upon x to the power 9 plus 1 upon x to the power 7 plus 2 as t. When you differentiate it on both these sides, this will be x to the power minus 9. So it will be minus 9 upon x to the power 10. This will be x to the power minus 7. So it will be minus 7 upon x to the power 8 is equal to times, of course, of dx is equal to dt. So from here, if I remove this minus and this minus, I'll be left with this dx is equal to minus of dt. First of all, did you comfortably understand this part? And 9 upon x to the power 10 plus 7 upon x to the power 8 dx. If I'm replacing it by minus dt, this f of x now can be written as integration of minus dt upon t square. T square means what? T to the power minus 2. So t to the power minus 2 dt. I hope everyone is with me so far without any confusion. So with this coming into picture, I hope you know how the integration happens here. Minus t to the power minus 2 plus 1, that's minus t to the power minus 1 upon minus 1. So minus minus gets cancelled. It will be 1 by t plus, of course, c. Did you all understand this particular part without any confusion? Now 1 by t, what is t? This is your t. So 1 by t will be this here. So f of x I need to write. Where shall I write this f of x? Can I use the next page? I should, otherwise things will start getting messy. So f of x is going to be 1 by t, that is 1 upon 1 by x to the power 9, 1 by x to the power 9 plus 1 by x to the power 7 plus 2 plus c. That's what we have here, right? Now, if I try and simplify this particular part, this particular expression, what do I get from here? F of x will be attaining or having as here. I can multiply, I can take x to the power 9 as the LCM here. That x to the power 9 will go in the numerator, but without even confusing you, I'm writing it here. This becomes 1, this becomes x square, and this becomes 2x to the power 9. Did you get that part? I hope you're not confused with this, whatever I've written over here. And that x to the power 9 pushed to the numerator. So this goes to the numerator like this, plus c. Now, how do we find this c? Limit x approaches 0, f of x is 0. Okay, so let's try and crack this c. So when limit x approaches 0 is applied here on both sides, when limit x approaches 0 is applied on both sides, I hope I need not tell you, when x approaches 0, polynomial of degree 9, 0 by, this is of course 0, 0, 0, 1. So 0 by 1 is 0 plus c. But we are told x approaches 0, f of x is 0. So if this is 0, we have cracked that c is 0. I hope there is no confusion on that. With this c becoming 0, I think we have gotten a clear clarity on f of x. So far we haven't concluded much except for the part that we have cracked f of x, which is going to be x to the power 9 divided by x to the power 9, 2x to the power 9 plus x square plus 1. Are you comfortably understanding this particular part? Can I move ahead from here? All the students watching it right now. Now f1 is given as 1 by 4. Why have they given f1 as 1 by 4? We would like to use it later. I think it is not f1 1 by 4. It should be something else, but we might want to use it later. So let's say f of 1 is 1 by 4 given. If it is not, we will take it something else, but let's try and solve this part here. Now, this is f of x. We are very much interested in f dash 1. We are very much interested in f dash 1. So let's try and crack f dash x from here. I'll be more interested in using the quotient rule. So the quotient rule goes like this. The square of the denominator in the denominator. So this looks like this. Now, derivative of the numerator. So that is 9x to the power 8 times 2x to the power 9. This is amazingly lengthy in terms of calculation. A question which is doable but kept deliberately there to keep it lengthy. But we are solving it because with this question, we are learning a lot of concepts, a lot of chapters we are able to revise. With this, the numerator as it is, but the derivative of denominator, that is 18x to the power 8 plus 2x. Now, the next thing which you got to do is you find f dash 1. How do we find f dash 1? I hope it's a very simple task. You can replace x by 1 and you can crack f dash 1. So this will be 9. This will be 2, 1, 1. That's 4, I believe so. Minus. This is 1 and this is 18 plus 2. 18 plus 2 is 20. Correct me if I'm wrong. 9 into 4 and that's 20. Divided by 211. So 211 is how much? 4. 4 square is 16. So 36 minus 20 is 16. 16 by 16 is 1. So f dash 1 we have cracked as 1. Great. They could have said directly, they could have given this f dash 1 as 1 directly, but they have made us do all this. Great. Perfectly fine. I now have cracked this a. With that, alpha to the power 4 is still there, but let's still write this a. I have cracked this a, but now let's talk about b first, then I'll get back to a. But so far we have cracked from our conclusion that f dash 1 is 1. So let's remember that this term will be 1. Perfectly fine. With this, let me try and have this Which part, students? B is given as adjoint of A. Matrix B is given as of A. So if I take its determinant on both the sides, it will be determinant of B is determinant of adjoint of A. Are you understanding it comfortably here, students, without any confusion? So here, when you do this, I hope you remember, determinant of B will be equal to determinant of A to the power n minus 1. The order is 3, so 3 minus 1 is 2. To the power number of times adjoint is appearing, that's 2. So it is determinant of A to the power 4. A basic property I have used here. Everyone comfortably understanding it? Now, determinant of B is said to be 81. If determinant of B is said to be 81, this is equal to 81. So determinant of A to the power 4 is 81. I would unhesitatingly say that determinant of A square will be 9 and determinant of A should be either plus 3 or minus 3. That is what we have. Now let's talk about determinant of A. Determinant of A. If I replace it by 1 for a while to solve this particular question from here, let me replace this by 1 here. So if I replace this particular part by 1 here, because we have cracked f-1 to be 1. Hold on for a while, students. F-1 we have cracked as 1. Now how does it get solved? I think I can expand it with the first row. So 1 plus minus plus 1 by 4 into 4, that's 4, minus alpha to the power 4. I hope you are getting it very clearly. That's the value of determinant of A. 4 minus alpha to the power 4. 4 minus alpha to the power 4. So 4 minus alpha to the power 4 should be plus minus 3. From here, can you not crack alpha to the power 4? That's something really easy. So this should be 4 plus minus 3 should be equal to alpha to the power 4. 4 plus 3 is 7. 4 minus 3 is 1. So alpha to the power 4 is either 7 or alpha to the power 4 is either 1. Whether that you can mark the correct option. Alpha square is what we are supposed to mark, but I think the option which matches here is cannot be under root 7. It should be plus 1. That is what we are given. It is 4. Come on. Don't say or don't tell me that I have made any error here. I'll expand it again. 1 by 4 into 4 is 1. Yes, how can I write it as 4? It is 1. I'm really sorry for this. This is 1 minus alpha to the power 4. So this is 1 minus alpha to the power 4. If it is 1 minus alpha to the power 4, which is given as plus minus 3. So 1 plus minus 3 should be alpha to the power 4. Alpha to the power 4 cannot be minus 2. So I'll take plus 3. So alpha to the power 4 is 4. Right, alpha to the power 4 is 4. So alpha square should be 2. Alpha square should be 2. Now what's wrong here? I think there is something wrong, but apart from that, everything went well. Can you highlight this? What error am I committing here? I think we are going great. 1 minus alpha, right? 1 minus alpha to the power 4. That's determinant of A. But we are taking this as determinant of A because order 2 to the power 2 because adjoint is appearing 2 times. So this is what? 4, right? So I think we are going great. Otherwise, I'll do it later, but let's focus on the next question. We'll come back to this if there is some problem with that question. Let's solve the next question. They're asking you the word Udaipur's rank. So there is a short technique. We have shared this short technique a lot many times. Let's discuss it one more time so that whenever you see this category of question, you crack it within seconds. So Udaipur, right? So that's the word. Now, first of all, try and figure out the rank of these letters alphabetically. Let's say the alphabet has these letters only. Udaipur, U-D-A-Y-P-U-R. So A, B, C, D, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, but U's appearing twice, V, W, X, Y. I hope you are getting it very clearly. Now, from here, I'll say that now start looking at this 5. On the right hand side of 5, how many numbers, including how many numbers which are less than 5? So 1, 2, 3, 4. So write a 4 here. Now on the right hand side of 2, of course, if this 5 is appearing twice, any number which is appearing how many number of times, that number of times factorial should be there here in the division. So 5 is appearing twice, so 2 factorial should be there. Had there been one more number appearing one more time, so 2 factorial into 2 factorial should have been done by me. Are you understanding it? With this 2, the numbers which are less than 2 is only 1, so I'll have 1. But no number is appearing now any more times more than 1 time, so I'll not divide it by anything. Basically, 1 factorial is what there will be in the division, which doesn't matter at all. From 1, there is no number which is less than 1. With 6, I have all the numbers which are less than 6. With 3, there is no number which is less than 3. With 5, there is one number. With 4, there is only no number. So now I got to write few things which are going to be 0 factorial, 1 factorial, 2 factorial, 3 factorial, 4 factorial, 5 factorial, and 6 factorial. Now what you need to do is multiply them. This with this, this with this, this with this, this with this, this with this. What's wrong with the board? This with this, of course, this with this, and this with this, and add all these product plus 1 will be the rank, because before Udaipur these were the number of words which will appear, so Udaipur will be plus 1th number in that series. So here if I could simply add them, I'll have simple addition you can perform and you can get the answer. This into this plus, I hope you're understanding, this plus this plus, I hope you're understanding it now very clearly, plus this plus this plus this and plus this, and of course plus 1 will be the rank of Udaipur. Remember this. Of course this and this will not matter because they are 0. So this plus this plus this plus this plus 1 will be the answer, which you can crack by yourself. Can I move ahead with the next question? Here the next question is A, 2i minus 5j plus 5k, and B is I minus j plus 3k, and C is a vector such that this is what we are given. This category, this kind of question we have already done. If you remember this, again we can do it. A question from vector. Vector, matrices and determinants are very highly asked by IIT JEE. How do we solve this? Let's have a clarity on that. Vector A and vector B. Again, can you look at this particular part? C. I think you can crack something from here. And with one more information coming into picture, you could deduce something really interesting from here. So let's try and deduce what can we do here so that we can work out C, so that C cross K can be worked out. Right, let's crack this question. First of all, let's look at this data. C and C can be used here. So I'll say 2 times vector A plus 3 times vector B cross C should be 0, which means C and this are parallel, which means I can say that vector C is equal to lambda times 2A plus 3B, or I could say 2A plus 3B is equal to lambda times C, whatever you wish to. Now, with this, we know this A minus B dot C. Can I say A minus B dot C? So A minus B remains like that. A minus B remains like that. Dot C. C is this. So dot C means what? This dot this, which is C, which is 2A plus 3B. Can I do so? And this we are told to be minus 97. Now I'll use this information. How will I do this? Lambda times A minus B. So I'll do this A minus B. I hope you wouldn't get confused with that. So A minus B what? 2I minus I, that's I cap, minus 5j plus j, that's minus 4j cap, and this 5k cap minus 3k cap, that's my plus 2k cap. That's A minus B. Now let's do this 2A plus 3B. So 2A plus 3B. So 2A will be 4I minus 10j plus 10k plus 3B. 3B means what? 3I minus 3j plus 9k. This is going to be 2A plus 3B. Right, so what is it going to be? 4 plus 3, that's 7I cap. Then minus 10 minus 3, that's 13j cap. Then 10 plus 9, that's 19k cap. Now from here, I think you can very easily crack the value of lambda. Finding the dot product is something really simple and easy. You all know how to do it. Here, 1 into 7, that's 7, plus 13 into 4, I think it's double of 26, 52, right? Plus 52 it should be. And there you have 9 into 2, 19 into 2, that's 38. So it should be plus 38 times, of course, lambda, which is going to be minus 97. So here when you do this, 38 plus 52, That's clearly how much? 60, 30, 97. 97, 97 leaves you with -1. So we have cracked, first of all, lambda, which is going to be -1. I hope there is no confusion on that. Now, once you have cracked the lambda, you have cracked C. You have cracked C. I hope you are getting it. Lambda is going to be -1. So mod and square when done, it doesn't matter. So here C is going to be this only in terms of modulus. C cross K cap. This is K cap, right? So vector C, if I could define, I'll say vector C is negative of 2A plus 3B. We did crack 2A plus 3B. This was 2A plus 3B. This is your 2A plus 3B. So if I take negative of it, it will be -7 I cap minus plus 13 J cap plus 19 K cap, and I need to take its cross with K cap. I hope you're understanding it. That will be C cross K. I'll square it later, but let me do this particular part. This is basically what I'm writing is C cross K cap. So I cross K, they are perpendicular. And with this, I hope you understand. I hope you know how to write it. I cross K, I J K, J cross K, again IJK, the cyclicity which you need to follow, and K cross K will be 0. So with that, I hope the task is really simple. It will give me -7 with a component. Positive, negative, whatever it is going to be, since it is C cross K whole square, that -7 square plus 13 square will come into picture. Are you understanding my words clearly? And under root wouldn't be there if I'm talking about this square. Are you understanding my words more clearly here, students? So with that, 7 square is 49. 13 square is what? 169. So 49 plus 169 would be the answer. 49 plus 169 should be 218. There's no confusion on that, I believe so. Can I move ahead with the next question? There comes the next question. Let ABC be an equilateral triangle. Okay, so ABC we are given as an equilateral triangle. Great. So this is given as an equilateral triangle. Okay, that's fine. With orthocenter at the origin. Now the best thing here is that if it is an equilateral triangle, it's orthocenter, it's incenter, it's circumcenter, it's it's not excenter, it's incenter, circumcenter, orthocenter, and centroid. All of them will coincide because it is equilateral triangle. So if I simply try and draw this, this will be one of the medians and this will be the other median. If I could draw this, so this will be the centroid, but as per them, this is the orthocenter, which is the origin, right? And we are told the side BC. So this is the side BC, which is the line x plus 2 root 2 y minus 4 is equal to 0. That's the line, right? Now here, when I proceed ahead with this, this is origin, mind you everyone, this is your origin here. And then the vertex A. So this will be the vertex A, which is given as alpha comma beta. Give me a second, students. This is the vertex A, which is alpha comma beta, right? Now, hold on for a while, students. Here, what am I saying? Then the greatest integer less than, okay, we'll talk about that later. What do I know here? I know a few things. Can you help me with the slope of BC? The slope of BC, if I could work out, and if I could work out the slope of AO, the product should be -1 because this is a median as well as an altitude, because it is the median as well as the altitude, because it's the equilateral triangle. So BC is having the slope -1 upon 2 root 2. -1 upon 2 root 2. And what about the slope of AO? I hope y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. So that's beta upon alpha, that we are given as -1. So from here, we crack that beta upon alpha will be 2 root 2. I hope there is no confusion on that front. Sir, can we crack one more information or one more equation so that we could build the data or relationship between alpha and beta? Here, I'll say that we know that centroid divides the median into 2:1. So if this is 2, this will be 1 in terms of ratio. Do you remember that? So the perpendicular distance between from 0, 0 to this line will be power of 0, 0 with this respect to this line. Let me call it D. So OD will be 4 mod 0, 0 minus 4. Mod of -4 will be 4 divided by under root over 1 plus 2 root 2 square is what? 8. 4 into 2, 8. That's 9. So 9 is 3. Why did I do this? So 4 by 3 is there. So if this is 4 by 3, this will be double of it, which is 8 by 3. So AO will be 8 by 3. AO will be 8 by 3. But what is AO? Sir, AO will be alpha square plus beta square inside an under root. So that's alpha square plus beta square inside an under root. Now, we have cracked alpha square plus beta square to be 64 by 9. Now, all I suggest you to do is use these two equations, solve them, and with that, you can crack this data, which is not a tough task. You have two equations in alpha and beta, you can solve them and get the final answer. I have tried assisting you with the approach part. Of course, you can do it from here by yourself. Can we move ahead with the next question? What does it say here? A question based on integration. I will ask you to do a very simple thing here. What is that simple thing? I'll ask you to divide this entire expression by 1 here and this entire expression by this here. What I'm suggesting here is integration. I'll give you a hint or the suggestion or the idea here. Here it will be 1 upon sine x to the power 5 into cos square x, right, minus 5 integration, of course dx is there. I'll split it here like this. 5 cos square x upon cos square x. So that leaves you with minus 5 upon cos square x dx. I hope you got this without any confusion. Dx upon sin x to the power 5 cos square x minus 5 upon, why should I write cos square x? This should be, cos square x should get cancelled basically and it should be sin x to the power 5. I hope there is no confusion on that. Now, please pay attention to this particular part. This cos square x, I am willing to write as sec square x. In the numerator, I can do so. So if this cos square x, if I write as sec square x, this is how our integration looks like. Now, if I use integration by parts on this expression, deliberately I'm doing so, integration by parts on this expression. So here, of course, I will be using 1 upon sin x to the power 5 as first function and sec square x as the second function, right? So if I now use integration by parts, what do I see here? Please pay attention to this. First function as it is, which is, or rather, if I am willing to make it look like this, first function, let me try and begin with this. If I don't get the answer, I'll do the other part, right? Let me try and do it with this. Let me check it with this, whether I get it or not, because I think, what do we do? Sec square x, we know the integration of. So first function as it is, integration of second function, I think I have chosen it correctly, yes. So here, first function as it is, which is 1 upon what? Sin x to the power 5 into integration of second function. So the integration of sec square x is what we all know, 10x. Did you understand it? Minus integration of derivative of first function. So this is sin x to the power 5. When you differentiate it as per the chain rule, it is going to be, I hope you're understanding, it will be minus 5 in the front. So it will make it plus 5. Then sin x to the power minus 5 minus 1. That makes it sin x to the power 6. I hope you're understanding it, whatever I'm doing here, without any confusion. I hope you are getting it. Times derivative of the derivative we have done times integration of the second function. So integration of sec square x is clearly 10x. Did you get that part? Now 10x we all know is nothing but what? 10x we all know is sin x upon cos x. But what I got to do is one more thing, that's as per the chain rule, sin x derivative is going to be cos x. So here with this minus 5 upon sin x to the power 5 is there in the picture. Now, can you not see it coming right there like this only, that 10x into cos x is sin x. Sin x upon sin x to the power 6 is basically sin x to the power 5. So this entire expression with this 5 is identical to this expression. So we are left with 10x upon sin x to the power 5, which you can simplify later again. And then with this data given to you, you can crack this question within seconds. Did you understand it completely? This is going to be f of x, because plus c and plus c will get cancelled, f of pi by 6, f of pi by 4, because that c minus c will be there. So you got to put pi by 4 here, then pi by 6 here, then f of pi by 6 minus f of pi by 4. You know how to do it and you can crack the answer within seconds. It is clearly not a tough question after this step. Now with this, let's solve the next question here. A question based on differential equations. To solve this differential equation, what I am going to do is, I will divide it by x cos square y. Yes. When you do so, when you divide both the sides by x cos square y, x gets cancelled, cos square y becomes sec square y in the numerator. So sec square y dy by dx, x cos square y, right? So this is sine 2y. So that I can write as 2, sorry, yes, 2 sine y cos y. And this I'm dividing by x cos square y. So this is x cos square y like this. I hope there is no confusion on that. And when you divide it by x cos square y, you're left with x square 2 minus x cube. Correct me if I'm wrong. I hope the data which I have written over here is perfectly understood by everyone. Are you all there, listening, watching, and understanding? Let me verify it. X cos square y leaves you with sec square y dy by dx minus 2. Yes, dy by dx minus 2 sine y cos y x cos square y. And there you have x square cos square y. Yes, great. Now, what have I done or achieved or attained by doing so? Here, let me rephrase or rewrite it. It becomes sec square y dy by dx. This leaves you with 2 by x, of course. But this cos y are cancelled. You're left with 10y. And it becomes x square, or if I wish to write it as, can I, or I'll keep it like this only, whatever or however you wish to write it, x square times 2 minus x cube. Now, this looks like Bernoulli's differential equations, where if I now replace or substitute 10y by t, let's say for a while, we know sec square y dy can be written as dt. So with that, sec square y dx, dy by dx can be written as dt by dx. So this becomes dt by dx minus, what do I have next? What do I have next? Minus 2x. So that's 2 by xt. That's minus 2 by x times t is equal to what? This is x square times 2 minus x cube. X square times whole of 2 minus x cube, right? Now you know how to solve this integrating factor, and then you will get the answer. Okay, hold on for a while. I will resume it in a while. Just let's take a 5 minutes break. We'll resume in 5 minutes. It is, I think, 8:37. We'll resume at 8:45, right? 8:45 we'll resume at. Hold on for a while. All right, students, so we are resuming right now. Let's complete this question. We'll find the integrating factors. How do we find integrating factor? IF is going to be e to the power integration of minus 1 by x, sorry, minus 2 by x. So minus 2 I'll keep here, 1 by x dx here. So this is going to be e to the power minus 2 ln x. I hope you have understood it. This minus 2 pushed there, it becomes, of course, x to the power minus 2. So this e to the power ln nullifies and it leaves you the x to the power minus 2. That means integrating factor becomes 1 upon x square. I hope you are understanding it. Now let's write the solution. That is t times integrating factor. So t upon x square, but t was what? What was t? T was 10y. So can I replace this t by 10y? So t I'm replacing by 10y is equal to integration of, I hope you remember this. Now, q of x. What was q of x? X square into 2 minus x cube into integrating factor. So that x square are cancelled and you're left with 2 minus x cube. So this leaves you with 2 minus x cube dx. Now, can you not solve this by yourself? 10y upon x square is there. You know how to integrate it. Plus c will be there. How do you get rid of that plus c? Because you are given y2 is equals to x. So when you replace x, I think there is something wrong here. There is something wrong here. Some wrong data is there, otherwise it would be correct. So y2 will be given a certain value. When you replace x by 2 and the value by that value, y by that value, you will get the value of c. And with that, you can crack y1. There is a small correction here that I'll get it done. But I hope you have understood it. No, not at all, Daniel. Trust me, you are not. Trust me. Definitely not. Please understand, I'm reading your comment right now. Definitely not. People have performed terribly bad in life. I wanted to join armed forces. I attempted it 10 times. I appeared 10 times for the interviews to be an officer in Indian Army, Air Force or Navy. I could not clear it. I attempted it 10 times and I failed in all the attempts. It does not mean I am a failure in life. Please understand this very clearly. Don't take it like that. Never take it like that. A very good analogy was given to us, those who were getting rejected on the day when the results were announced, during the interview process, when we were getting screened out or conferenced out from the process of the armed forces. They were telling us that the difference between apple and oranges, that if a process wants oranges, good oranges, and if it is not wanting you, that does not mean that you are a bad orange. That could mean that you are not an orange at all. You could be an apple. Are you able to make some sense out of my analogy which I'm trying to give you? So if something rejects you, it does not mean that you are a failure. Don't tag yourself with such words like that. You are never a failure. You can be amazingly successful in some other domain. And even with this percentile, you could perform decently good with the next attempt. That's what we are suggesting here, and that's exactly why we are putting so much efforts. I hope you have understood my words very clearly, Daniel. With that, let's go ahead with our conclusion here. Coming back to the discussion, so this question we have clearly done. I hope with that we are very clearly done with this session, and let's conclude it here. With this, I am giving you a very good clarity that JEE Mains January attempt results are announced, and we are coming live to address and resolve all your concerns, to address all your problems or concerns or queries regarding your results. So we'll be meeting in the live very soon. We are coming within few minutes. So with that, let's meet in the next video. Thank you so much. Take a good care of yourself. You have been a great audience.